Reports are going crazy across Twitter. I mean, X. The U.S. is deploying strike groups to the Middle East. Refueling tankers are flying. We've seen a bunch of military movement. Right now, Iran has shut down airspace. The U.S. virtual embassy has told Americans, get out of the country. The U.K., now the same thing, with warnings about American travel to Israel as well, saying the region is going to be unstable. Donald Trump, of course, has threatened to shoot Iran. I'm assuming that means war if they keep shooting protesters. Now it seems like with all of the news reports we're getting, there is a high expectation that war has already begun. Reports of fighter jets over the border of Iraq and Iran. It may be kicking off. Right now, you've got all the prediction markets saying it's happening. Someone just made a $20,000 wager that the U.S. would strike Iran today, and they'll get paid $160,000 if it happens. At the same time, we saw a major cellular outage across the country in basically every single metro if you're on Verizon. And many people are assuming this was a cyber attack. We don't know for sure. No statement has been released. But considering the massive escalation with Iran, which is not some desert nation. I mean, they got surface-to-air missiles. They've got a powerful military. They've got cyber attack capabilities. People are kind of saying maybe they made a move against us. Because you got to understand, taking out cell phones does not just mean making it so you can't call mom, which you haven't done anyway, and you should. I digress. It also means that Ubers and Lyfts can't pick people up. It means DoorDash deliveries. It means a large portion of our internet-based economy gets struck down. That is a massive attack on our country and economy, but we don't know for sure. Maybe Verizon just sucks. So we're going to talk about that. We got a bunch of other news. CBS reporting earlier today that the ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, who shot Renee Good, suffered internal bleeding after being struck. The funny thing now is it feels like a big ask because liberals are coming out and saying, internal bleeding, that sounds like bruising. To which my response is, so you admit he got hit. No, now they're conspiracy theorists saying CBS News is lying and they're stenographers for a corrupt regime. Sure, or the guy got hit. So we'll talk about all that. We've got a bunch of breaking news to go through with the deployments and all of this war stuff. Before we do, we got a great sponsor for you. It is Tax Network USA. My friends, visit tnusa.com/Tim. Do you owe back taxes or you haven't filed in years? Now is the time to resolve your tax matters. With a national conversation around abolishing the income tax system, the IRS is fighting back and proving it's here to stay by becoming more aggressive than ever before. They're sending out more collection notices, filing more tax liens, and collecting billions more than in recent years. They're sending out, if you owe, the IRS can take your wages, bank accounts, Social Security, retirement, and even your home. If you owe and haven't filed, it's not a question of if the IRS will act, it's when. Right now, Tax Network USA is offering a completely free IRS research and discovery call to show you exactly where you stand and what they can stop before it's too late. Their powerful programs and strategies can save you thousands or even eliminate your debt entirely if you qualify. Don't make a serious mistake representing yourself or calling the IRS on your own. Waiving your rights can cost you more money. They are not on your side. Get protected the right way with Tax Network USA and start the process on settling your tax matters once and for all today. Call 1-800-958-1000 or click the link below for your free discovery call with Tax Network USA. Don't let the IRS be first to act. Shout out. Thanks for sponsoring the show. And don't forget, go to boonieshq.com. Go to shop.boonieshq.com. I think we have about 3 or 4 of the assault bottle limited edition boards available. And I think we probably have like 1 or 2 of the Jason Ellis battle axe. Everything else is gone. The Colt 45 gone, the hand grenade gone, and the 50 caliber anti-material rifle board gone. But we actually have a hefty amount of the Step on Snack and Find Out 2.0 with 10 golden limited edition versions. I believe we have about 50. I could be wrong, but around 50. We've sold more of these. The important thing to understand is we produced 210 of the snack boards. The rest we produced about 55 of each, and they are all getting eaten up. So shout out, guys. Really do appreciate you supporting Boonies HQ, buying the boards. It has been beautiful, and make sure you grab them. Some of you, it's entirely random whether you get the board or not. Distribution will just send out for the snack boards 10 golden limited edition versions, and each other board there are 5 golden black limited edition versions. So don't forget to also smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is Boobs.
It's just because you don't know how to pronounce my name. Do you?
Arynne, Arynne.
I prefer
I know how to
Arnie.
pronounce it. I know it's Arynne Wexler. You know why? Because before I saw how oddly it was spelled, Sean was like, "We have Arynne Wexler on tomorrow," and I was like, "Okay." and then I read it and I was like, "Well, that's weird."
I love your Sean impression.
That's how he sounds.
Yeah.
Sean, that's what you sound like.
He sounds Jewish.
Just so level.
And then when we were making the thumbnail, I was like, "Did you want the boobs in the picture too?" And I was like, "Screw it, just all boobs."
All boobs.
And
I said,
and everyone laughed.
we should make it her face after the show, but I don't know. Can we A/B test it?
We should A/B
Actually, yeah,
test
we
it.
can.
Let me listen.
The
I've
B
been
has
on the
to
internet.
be for boobs, though.
I've been on the internet. I know what's going to win.
I know, it'd be funny to show.
I just want to be clear. I'm so much more than a brain. Okay, that's what I'm trying to prove tonight. Is
Yeah.
I'm more than just brains.
I know.
I'm also boobs.
It's not fair. You know, these women, these girl bosses, they prove they have the
so
ability,
tough.
but sometimes they just want men to know that they're sexually attractive as well.
Thank you so much. I mean, I did go to Wharton. Ever heard of it? And so it's nice to have this moment to shine in
are you
another
doing going to
way.
school?
You know,
School.
school.
What did you study at Wharton?
I studied business and actually Arabic, which doesn't help me beat the Mossad allegations that people throw my way. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you. It's going to be
Thank
fun.
you so much. It's nice to be
Yeah,
here.
Ian's hanging out.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. I am ready to pump this graphene.movie. That's what this world needs right now is more graphene.movie. So go to graphene.movie and check out the upcoming documentary. It's going to be hot. And also, man, let's just talk about it on the show tape. I got concerns about the future and the world and the Middle
We're
East.
literally
and, yeah.
talking about this.
Thank you, Tim.
We will
Thank you
be
for
We are
hosting.
on the right show.
Good idea with this show, by the way,
Indeed.
T-Bo.
Tate Brown is, in fact,
My man.
still holding it down.
It's
I was
true.
concerned.
Still holding it down as of now. It was tough. Thankfully, I'm an AT&T American, so I was sort of absolved from all the chaos today. Maybe
I'm a U.S. Cellular American.
Whoa,
It's got America in the
you're
title.
a U.S. Cellular cell. Okay, interesting. All right, we got it. But Tate Brown holding it down, Patriot, etc. Phil.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Lamonti. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's the story, which is coming together in the past couple of hours. Spectator Index reporting breaking. Western military official says all signals are that U.S. attack on Iran is imminent, according to Reuters report. We have this from Polymarket breaking 51% chance the U.S. strikes Iran tonight, up from 45. And oh boy, take a look at this. From Mario Nawfal, the airspace is cleared. Brace yourself.
So
we
this is what
saw this with Venezuela. Now it's happening with Iran.
And I almost just said in the intro, pray for these people because the whole purpose of this is to help the protesters that are apparently under siege or something, being killed by the government. You do not carpet bomb cities to help the people that live in the cities.
When is the last time the United States carpet bombed?
I don't know what they're going to do. Precision strikes with drone tech we've never seen before.
Generally, precision strikes are the order of the 21st century.
And even more precision than we've ever seen in the world before. Venezuela
well, I mean,
was
Venezuela was pretty precise.
We've got this update from Mario Nawfal. He says Trump wants swift and decisive blow to Iran, but advisors can't guarantee regime collapse. The president told his team he doesn't want a war dragging on for months. If he does something, he wants it to be definitive. The problem is that no one can promise him the regime falls quickly. That could mean a limited initial strike with options to escalate. Meanwhile, hundreds of U.S. troops just left Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar for a safer location in case Iran retaliates. I mean, we got a ton of updates. The airspace being cleared. We've got, look, this is wild. Look at this.
It's so good.
Who's this? Why is China flying two planes in
Leroy
Iran
Jenkins.
while the airspace is closed? No. Mahan air flights from Guangzhou and Shenzhen heading to Tehran as entire region clears airspace. What is China doing? Sending planes into a strike zone, sending in components for making weapons.
Yeah.
That's what we saw last time, and it seems like it is what they're doing now. And so there was another. Here we go. Check this out. Pentagon orders USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group to the Middle East from the South China Sea. Holy crap. My concern here is that China may, if we pull our assets from the South China Sea, China could make a move on Taiwan, and then we're going to be stuck in a conflict in Iran.
We still have two other carriers in the South China Sea, or they're near Japan right now at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really that much of an Iran hawk, so I hope our engagement here is limited. But if they're confident that they can inflict a serious blow here, I mean, look, they got the hot hand after Venezuela. Again, I'm not keen on this, but after Venezuela, I have a lot of faith, honestly, in Hegseth, Trump, and the team. I mean, I know that's like the safest take you could possibly have right now, but it's just the truth. It's the reality of the situation.
I really feel like the situation that went down in Venezuela really kind of put the rest of the world kind of on alert and said, look, the the world is run by power, and the United States is still the most powerful military in the world. Russia can't even beat Little Russia. Like, they've been there they were supposed to be 3 days, and they've been there for 3 years. I don't think that China has the type of army that people are afraid they do. Really, the thing that deters war when it comes to the bigger militaries in the U.S. is the bigger militaries in the world is nuclear arms, and I don't think that it's in no one's interest to get into a nuclear war. So I think that for the most part, the U.S. can kind of do whatever it wants in most places, and whether that's good or bad, I think that's not really the argument I'm making. I'm just saying that that's kind of the reality.
So there are some interesting developments from the Washington Post. They say Trump says Iran has stopped killings as U.S. weighs military options. And we have this report from Mario Nawfal that Iran's NOTAM expires, traffic can resume. Could it be that we just narrowly averted U.S. intervention by some kind of deal? We've got, Bill Ackman saying, is it possible that Trump made a deal for Khomeini and his son to leave Iran? This would explain why Trump has stated the killing has stopped and why he's holding off on the attack for now. The skies could not be reopened above Iran without total certainty that there would be no attack. The pause would, of course, allow Khomeini to seek safe passage to Moscow. To be clear, it's total speculation, but I think it's good speculation. In fact, that flight we saw from China may have been an evacuation. So they closed the airspace. Trump says, we're going to blow you the F up, or you can leave, or we can get you. Khomeini gets on that single flight, and now they're going to reopen the airspace.
From what I've just read about some of the way that the structure of the Iranian government works, there's, if I understand correctly, not that I'm some kind of expert, I'm not trying to put on airs or anything, but like, if I understand correctly, like, Khomeini isn't actually the dude, and the people that are actually running the show are actually fairly shadow kind of figures. They don't really put their name out there, and so if you get rid of Khomeini, not much is going to change. There was a lot of speculation that once they got rid of Soleimani, that was going to be a big change in Russia, and in Iran, and that didn't materialize. So if Khomeini's not the guy, him leaving is really irrelevant, I guess.
I'm getting a phone call real quick. Let me just get this real quick. Hello?
Shalom.
Yes? Yes. Really? Did it clear? All 7,000. Excellent. War with Iran is a good thing. I think all of our troops should be in Iran. Iran should be U.S. territory, and I love Israel.
Okay, so why did you look at me when you said Israel? First
looked
of all,
at me first, though.
I want to say something though. I think to your point of like how you're not keen on this, and obviously I am with the people of Iran on this, like the people who love freedom, love the West, all that, which is actually not necessarily even the majority of Iranian people, but people should care about the U.S. getting involved in this, and they should be happy about it, because I want us to like talk about something a little different, which is the future is AI. I know this is random, but whether or not people like it, AI is the future. AI requires astronomical amounts of energy, okay? Right now, we as Americans, if you're America first, that means you want American supremacy. American supremacy means we are on top of the AI race. We need to secure energy. We need to destabilize our enemies' energy. That means China and Russia, who have, by the way, been getting oil from Venezuela and Iran. This is not a coincidence that we're dealing with both Venezuela and Iran at the start of this year.
You know, my principal concerns have been over the past several years that the United States domestically has been screwed up, infrastructure-wise, culturally, and we spent decades in Afghanistan and Iraq for a very obvious reason, to surround Iran, one of the countries we wanted to invade. And so what we end up getting this woke revolution where the Democrats are like, maybe we should cut off, little girls' tits or whatever. And regular people are like, stop, what is wrong with you? At the sacrifice of our country, we were allocating we were prioritizing this BS. In the event, so I would say it like this, what we don't want: U.S. destabilizing regions, causing more death and chaos, which blows back on us. What we don't want: conflict in general in these regions. I know the military-industrial complex probably loves it, selling weapons to both sides. What we do want: U.S. supremacy.
Yes.
100%. But that doesn't mean we're the world police, in my opinion.
I'm not saying world police, right?
I know.
We put in a dictator. I'm not saying we should bring democracy to them. This was the big mistake with Iraq. We said, let's give these people democracy. With Afghanistan, we had these like feminist NGOs trying to make the Afghani girls like girl bosses, right? It was ridiculous.
Exactly.
Right? But I'm saying put in a pro-West, pro-America non-Islamist dictator. By the way, the Shah was not. That was not democracy either. The Shah was essentially like a benevolent dictator.
So here's the challenge with the removal of Maduro. What we don't want to happen is for a power vacuum to occur, and then narco gangs, terrorists come in, and then Venezuela falls apart.
Let me tell you why I'm so sick of the argument of like it could be worse. Because that's like telling someone to stay with a man that beats her because the next guy might kill her. You know? Like, it's really bad. It's really bad.
That's like saying, the analogy I used is you've got a neighbor who's selling drugs and is beating his wife.
Right.
And you're like, I really don't think I should get involved in the gang fight and conflict. But the point is, as much as you don't want to get involved because different gangs might come in and fight, at a certain point you call the cops go in and stop the guy from selling drugs and doing these bad things. My point is, I think a generation traumatized by the failures of the neocon policies in these countries is justified. That being said, right now we're looking at people so traumatized, they're like the U.S. should not engage in any kind of pressure campaigns, influence, or conflict internationally. And that just means China dominates, and then in 2 or 3 generations, it's going to cost $50,000 for a laptop, and China controls oil and controls the world.
Yes.
And I don't want that for my kids or for myself.
I agree.
It looks like the deep state, the military-industrial complex is like, all right, there's a revolution in Iran right now. It looks like the people are about to revolt. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it now. And the Iranian government is a theocracy. It's a vile dictatorship that has posed as a republic and betrayed its people. So it topples. And COVID snapped people the fuck up. If you don't remember, think back. Iranians too. They're fucking tired of it. Are you kidding me? Are you not? So people want sovereignty. And this is what's happening. It's just, I'm with you on the sentiment. We want to make sure they survive. It's not about blowing up their infrastructure in order to save them. You know, we have to thread a needle.
I think the challenge is very, very simple. Because I said this back in 2016. I said it every year since. Hillary Clinton was the American hegemonic candidate. If you wanted cheap laptops, cheap oil, laziness, and all of this stuff, then she was your candidate because she was going to go to war with Russia. They were going to prop up the petrodollar, and the United States would continue debasing its manufacturing infrastructure. And then a few generations later, we're all destitute, like what's happening right now. Donald Trump, however, was seemingly less concerned with enforcing American hegemonic power, and I would argue, in many ways, rightly so. However, Saudi Arabia gets off the petrodollar deal, which means as a country that doesn't produce anything, Trump probably realized, hey, wait a minute. We can't stop the petrodollar system until we have a manufacturing base. Otherwise, America collapses overnight. We do not export enough relative to our imports to justify the strength of our economy compared to every other nation. It's actually quite simple. We force other nations to use the U.S. dollar to buy oil. Well, that's starting to falter. And it seems like Trump is now trying to reinforce that. And I actually think the reason why he didn't want to release the Epstein files, as I've long argued, is that there's going to be Saudi princes in there. And Trump is probably telling Bongino and everybody else, do not release this stuff because I got to get them back on the petrodollar. Otherwise, our economy is cooked. So what happens then? They just sold $500 million in Venezuelan oil. Silver is up near $100 an ounce. If you want to buy an ounce, a little coin on a website, it's $105. That is apocalyptic level stuff. I think Trump's recognizing you can't overnight flip the regime on its head. There has to be, we are in this system. We are in the petrodollar system. And if you end it, we end with it. There's got to be a transition. That's why I think Trump is doing these limited military engagements, snatch and grab with Maduro, and what appears to be a get out of the country before we nuke you, and we don't go to war. Trump learned a lesson from the neocons. You invade, you get 20 years of chaos. If you can get the job done with a finger snap, do the finger snap.
Yeah, well, because Trump's entire approach to geopolitics, people, when he came on the scene, they sort of portrayed him as if he was this like anti-war hippie, which is not really a correct assessment of Trump's view of geopolitics.
He did call himself the president of peace, though.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of emphasis on that because you have to look at like what did he say about the Iraq War? What was his problem with the Iraq War? It wasn't like, oh, this was like a geopolitical quagmire, which was he alluded to that his primary qualm with the Iraq War was that we didn't get the oil. Like he said that over and over again. He was frustrated because he's saying like America is undeniably the unipolar power, right? We're the global hegemon. If we're going to conduct ourselves like an empire, we ought to be bringing treasure back to the United States. if we're going to operate in this way, we need to be making it worth it for the American people. And so that was his whole issue with the Iraq war fundamentally, is that like, look, where's the oil? Like if we're going to do all this, carry out these regimes, settle scores, these sorts of things, that's great for the Beltway. But how do you sell this to the American people? What's in it for them? And so it's just like, it's a very classical view of empire building. And
I think it's so easy. And I beg the military industrial complex to just be honest with people, okay? Because when they go, the poor Iranian people's freedom, they're fighting so hard for freedom. I go, I hear ya. But there are so many countries where people are fighting for freedom and we can't invade them all. Trump, I love it. Because he comes out in his first term and he gets asked about a weapons deal with Saudi Arabia and he goes, it's amazing. We're going to sell tons of weapons to the Saudis. It's going to be great for the economy. And all of the anti-war progressives, their jaws hit the floor and they were like, he just said it.
Yeah.
He just admitted what we are and what we do. And so I tell you this, they need to explain to the American people, do you like having cheap goods and doing minimal labor for high wages? Do you like having a median income of $50,000 a year where I know it's rough relative to Americans, like my rent is so dang high. Sure is. Silver is through the roof. You can live like a Brazilian at $8,000 a year. You can live in a favela where you can't flush your toilet. So when we live in luxury, there is this liberal fever dream where everything we just have, there's an abundance of infinite wealth, when the reality is, where do we get sulfur from? And why do we need sulfur? We need it for computer components, for our advanced MRI technology or helium and things like this. Well, third worlders are mining sulfur while their teeth fall out of their mouths from the sulfuric vapors and they stuff rags in their mouth, and you aren't going to do it. So we find countries where the people do and we buy it from them. We have, I don't think the American people understand that. I love the argument of the illegal immigrants do the jobs the Americans won't, because that's not true. There's tons of Americans that have no problem working in a meat processing plant. However, Americans are not going to be working in a sulfur mine for the most part. There are a lot of core resource jobs that we get from other countries that we pay very, very low amounts of money for because they don't have the development to compete with us. So you sell the American people the truth, and that is the reason why we want to remove the Iranian regime is because we want an Iranian government that is in the petrodollar system. The reason why we removed Maduro is because in 2006, I believe it was, he stole billions of dollars in American oil assets and we just did nothing about it. And I'm really irked by this because if there's anything that justifies a response, it's stealing our stuff. We cut legitimate deals with Venezuela so that we could have oil. They elect a commie, and then he says, your oil's mine now. And the America was like, I guess we'll have to figure it out later. And then we get these stupid PR campaigns where it's like, let's advocate against Venezuela. Well, 20 years later, Trump said, I'm done with this. You stole it from us in the first place. So when Trump sells Venezuelan oil for $500 million, and all these hippie progressives are like, the CIA is trying to destabilize Venezuela. Well, you know, maybe we'll get our stuff back. 'Cause I'll tell you this. I don't want to go in your house. You're my neighbor, right? I'm not going to kick your door in. I'm going to leave you the F alone. But if we have an agreement, I'll let you borrow my bike and you're going to pay me back, but then you steal my bike, I'm going to go in there and take my bike back from you.
Yeah. Well, Tim, this is why we have to take out the trash in Venezuela and Iran. Let's talk about the numbers, right, of what the oil is. Between Venezuela and Iran, if that's not on the petrodollar, we are in the minority globally when it comes to dollars being traded for oil. With Venezuela, with Iran, we tilt just over, we're like a hair over 50% with oil being traded in US dollars. What Venezuela's been doing is they said we want to free ourselves from the dollar, right? What people need to understand is when Henry Kissinger in 1974 made the deal with the Saudis to trade oil exclusively in USD, that made the US dollar the global reserve currency. That is very powerful. That stabilizes the US dollar, that guarantees inflation staying lower. Do you remember what happened this last year with this summer when Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz? Do people remember that?
It was like blown open almost immediately.
No, when it was
day or
closed,
two.
all the shipping containers in the world were going around the fucking southern tip of Africa. And that was also a huge a huge factor in inflation, and costs are going up.
Let me pull up this story. We've got this from CBS News. U.S. completes first sale of Venezuelan oil
Amazing.
valued at $500 million,
That's
official
the
says.
petrodollar.
The details of the sale haven't yet been disclosed, but Trump has said the U.S. will sell 30 to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan oil in partnership with U.S. companies. Now, let's just pause real quick, because I've had a bunch of progressive friends I've known for a long time, and they're like, the U.S. hands off Venezuela. Okay, well, let's go back in time to 2007, when Venezuela elected a socialist who then seized U.S. oil assets, stealing billions of dollars. How about Venezuela hands off our oil investments? By all means, you want to be a climate change person and say oil's bad? Fine, separate argument. Our investment, our partnerships seized from our backyard, out of our pockets, and then weaponized to help fund our adversaries. Let me give you the numbers. Total USD loss from Venezuela's nationalization or expropriation of U.S. oil in 2007 under Hugo Chavez. ExxonMobil claimed $10 to $16.6 billion. ICSID, $1.6 billion. You've got recent claims of between $1 and $2 billion. ConocoPhillips, $4.5 billion, with $20 to $30 billion in after-the-fact claims, meaning money that would have been generated from the investments. ICSID awarded $8.7 billion. The total overall U.S. loss is estimated between $10 and some $20 billion. So let me just make it very, very simple. I don't want war with Venezuela. I don't want war anywhere. What do we do as a country when a leader comes in and says, hey, you know how we had a deal with you? We had a treaty and we had a deal. You guys come in, you spend all the money building the drills, building the refineries. You guys get the profits, but we get kicked back a little bit. Yeah, that's a fine deal. They then stole all of our oil assets that we paid for and built. Why should we have ever tolerated that? Now, again, real quick, I'm not saying we should have invaded. I'm glad we didn't. But Trump removing Maduro and taking $500 million doesn't begin to remedy the theft and the betrayal that we experienced. To make it worse, we endured 20 years where, again, I think the reason largely is another reason why I think Iraq and Afghanistan was stupid is that we're spending billions in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, Venezuela in our backyard was running roughshod over us and stole our stuff. Trump, I believe, has been doing things masterfully. Again, I'm concerned about destabilization in Venezuela. I lean slightly against the removal of Maduro because, to be fair, I think we are a traumatized generation, and I don't look at our government as successful in the last 50 years when it comes to these things. But that being said, Trump's precision strikes on Iran to take out their nuclear capabilities did not result in an expanded conflict. So all I can really say is I'm happy that's what happened. I still don't know if it was the right move, but I don't have access to classified information. And the snatch and grab of Maduro so far seems to have been okay.
Yeah.
I hope we don't destabilize, and I just want to at least be a voice of tepid reason against people saying go in, invade, and all of these things.
Who's saying invade? Because
okay, well, hold on.
Except for Lindsey Graham, who's saying invade. Except for
this
that.
This is the point. John Bolton, acolytes, Elad Eliyahu. Come on.
Okay, but who's listening to those people? I feel
people
like
who watch the show listen to a lot. They don't like them though.
I don't think they do listen.
It's a hate. Tell me someone who isn't hate listening to them, because I feel people need to understand, especially on the right, where everyone's acting as if a tactical operation is the same as a forever war, and it's not.
Yep.
Having energy and having a petrodollar are legitimate interests for the United States. If you want, like you were saying, your affordable lifestyle and low inflation, we need to have control. We need the petrodollar strong, and we need control of energy, and we need to destabilize it and take it away from China and Russia. And that is exactly what we're doing with Venezuela and Iran.
I think the important lesson a lot of people in the more moderate space need to learn, again, I want to stress this. I'm not advocating for invasion or war conflict. The important thing you need to understand is this. Look at what the Democrats did to Donald Trump, his lawyers, conservative personalities, J6ers. The unrepentant use of illegitimate force against innocent people for the sheer exertion of power. Democrats and the woke machine said, we will destroy you because we can. China is worse. In the event the U.S. falters and we do experience the expansion of a multipolar world, we're going to get a Thucydides trap war. Mm-hmm. We are not going to just let China's Belt and Road Initiative take over, and that's what's been happening. I think Trump's view of this has been, I really do look at the Democratic Party as like the weak, pathetic great-grandchildren of the greatest generation or the grandchildren of. They don't know how to maintain a business. It's a third generation failure. Trump comes in and says, you've given away our manufacturing. Our borders are collapsed. Our people aren't having babies anymore. What is the point of your endless quagmires in Afghanistan and Iraq if we are not sustaining the American people, its tradition, its dreams, and its worldview internationally and nationally? Trump now, in my opinion, is also seeking to reinforce American hegemonic power. And I think he's doing it so far. I give him a C+. C+ in that I've never been a fan of the U.S. forcing other countries to do whatever it wants. But if Trump is doing it in a limited fashion with sanctions, and so far what we've seen with Iran and Venezuela, very, very light, what I can only say is, okay, it's better than I've seen in my life. And I pray we don't get destabilization. And at the end of this, I recognize China, Russia, and Iran would burn us to the ground if they had the ability to do it at any moment.
And Tim, you got to risk it for the biscuit, you know? Like, we're risking destabilization for the idea that we can remain the world's fucking superpower, right? That's the point.
Well, I don't think Iran's like an actual formidable threat against American hegemony.
But it's not. But you're missing. It's not even about politics. It's not about the humanitarian aspect of it. It's about the economics of it. We need the oil. We need the petrodollar. That's all it is. And we need the energy. And we need China and Russia to not have access to that energy, because right now we are a hair away from the petrodollar being decimated.
Right, I'm just
That's
saying.
what
The Saudis are like, we're going to sit back and see who wins.
That's exactly what they're doing right now, right?
The Venezuelan calculation, it's, okay, yes, you take away 50% of our global adversaries' oil supply, you release 20% of the world's oil reserves into the market. It's going to tank the price of Iranian oil, Russian energy, these sorts of things. But then also there's a geopolitical calculation, which is Venezuela's in our hemisphere, they're on our back porch. Taking them out, there's obvious incentives for the United States in a variety of reasons. Where Iran is, I agree, there is interest for the U.S., but the interesting about Iran is it's more dangerous because there's converging interests in Iran. So that's why it's like Venezuela is kind of a no-brainer in a lot of ways if you truly like apply the Trump doctrine. But Iran is just a much tougher decision to make. That's why there's a debate around it. Where Venezuela happens, everyone's like, yeah, that kind of checks out. Even liberals were kind of coming around on
people on the right, like Megyn Kelly was saying, I don't want my sons to go be drafted for Venezuela, which is one of the dumbest things she could have possibly said.
Yeah,
so,
literally. Yeah, no,
like,
I agree.
Not everyone's saying that. And also Iran, there has never been a more vulnerable moment to attack Iran. They have fights from within. They're economically crippled because oil is so low right now. All their friends are dead. Thank you, Israel. Okay. And this is the moment to strike them. This is it.
I would prefer the Iranian people institute their own government on their own. I think the Iranian government is...
Why don't we decide it ourselves? We're America. Why don't we get someone in there? And I'm not saying regime change. I don't want democracy. I don't want democracy for them. Put someone in there who... That is pro-West,
because that's what we
pro-America.
did in 1979.
It would be
No, that's what Jimmy Carter put in an Islamist extremist. And by the way, all Islam is extreme.
This is the trauma of our generation of every failure. But let me just stress this.
Being traumatized again, it's
I agree.
you don't not date again because you had a bad relationship before.
I agree.
Like, you got
This
to
is my
keep
point.
going.
This is why we're cautious.
Yeah.
But we try to be optimistic. That is, I would prefer the Iranian people take care of it themselves. I prefer sanctions.
We're doing the work.
And
Why don't we get to
and
decide?
pressure campaigns.
We're doing the work. We're going in there and helping them.
But
why don't we get to decide? That's American supremacy.
Blowback. No, real quick. Blowback. Because we don't want destabilization in the region. Like when we tried pushing out the Soviets to the Mujahideen. My point is this. If there's no other way to do it, fine. I see your point.
Yes.
If we can offer up through sanctions and assistance in some way, the
Okay,
Iranian
Barack Obama.
people
Thank
getting
you.
their
The sanctions.
own system of governance. Well, it's not about being nice and being like, we don't want to blow people up, because he certainly blew up a bunch of kids. The point is, how do we get in as smoothly as possible so that it reduces backlash, blowback, and we get our way?
But don't you think right now the people of Iran want Trump to come in and give them a better leader? That's what they're asking for.
I will say this. I don't know about the entirety of the Iranian people, but we certainly know for a fact there are massive protests, and there have been for a long time.
I think it'd be way too many cooks in the kitchen. And I think that was one of the major failures of Iraq, is that we said, let's give these people democracy, when democracy was going to lead to them, electing worse people, right?
Well, it's Dune over there, so they're not going to be
Here's the problem. We went into Iraq and Afghanistan and said, let's be here for 4 generations to create a culture.
Yes.
This is what we've done in Japan and South Korea. And it's creepy that South Koreans all basically shave the flesh off their faces to look like white people. I say this as a Korean. I think it's
kinda
weird.
based.
But it's great.
kinda
It's
based.
great
It's
skincare, and
actually.
everyone should do it.
And in Japan as well, they're effectively, or were for a long time, like a vassal after we conquered them and occupied them after World War II. And that's fine. I get
Yeah.
it. World War II was a whole thing, right? And so we
Ever
go
heard
to
of
these
it?
countries, and it's not. And Korea, of course, was World War II. It was the Cold War. Afghanistan wasn't. Afghanistan was like some Greatest Generation dude's kid being like, I want to go in and do the same thing Dad did. It's like, you don't know how to do it, and they didn't. And the idea that we would occupy Afghanistan for 3 generations to create a functioning society was insane. Okay, it works in countries where you already had functioning societies that were socially and culturally and technologically developed. It doesn't make sense to go into a country of goat herders and then.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of when the U.S. tried to teach them how to do jumping jacks?
Comedy gold.
A horror. It's not. It's horror.
Iran-
I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna pull so people can watch.
Yeah, Iran has the
hilarious.
structure to withhold a republic. So if Pahlavi, he's the son of the last king of Iran, they would install him as maybe the first president, and they could write a Republican constitution
Nah,
based on the U.S. Constitution.
They don't like their entire ideological framework is still Islamic based, so it'd be really tough to sort of sell democracy.
a
to them.
secular
Look at
government.
this. Look at this. This was Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh my god.
So these aren't actually called jumping jacks. They're called something else, but we call them.
Side straddle hops.
Is that what they're called?
The
Oh
Marine
my
Corps,
God,
that's
look at
what they're
this.
called.
Look at these guys.
That
We were
dude's-
like,
Do you think
I
it's
know.
because their parents are first cousins? They
Bro,
don't know
sometimes,
how to...
Yes.
that dude is in the body
Yes,
Shmurda.
that is
Yeah.
this is a fact that is not meant to be derisive. It is an academic fact that there is massive cousin marriage in the Middle East that does
Yes.
lower IQ and increase aggression.
Not just the Middle East, it's the UK now, right? You know about this. That like
Well.
their crazy rate. I mean, you're smiling. You have
well,
a
'cause
little.
he said it's
Tim
not
has
the
a
Middle
twinkle
East.
in his eye.
You said it's not the Middle East, and I said, well,
No, it's the Middle East in the UK.
The Middle
because
East is an idea.
No, I think.
East is not a location.
No, when Trump brings the Muslim ban back, it's going to be like London, Montreal,
Yeah,
Detroit. You know,
the Middle East.
Yeah, the Middle East, the actual,
Bro.
the new Middle East.
it's amazing to me that you can go to a human being and be like, you're going to jump and your arms go up and your legs go out, and they're like, what?
We did this in pre-K.
You guys are right about
Did
goat
it.
herders. Goat herders couldn't handle a republic. The Iranians can handle a republic. They're supposed
Indeed.
to have a republic.
Indeed. Iranians are not they're Persian.
Persian, yeah.
And they actually have had a strong republic for well, not
It was a
they had a strong
monarchy,
government
yeah.
and culturally developed for some time. The people they were protesting. This is the important thing people need to understand about Iran. It is not a desert nation of goat herders. It is an advanced mountainous region, developed, technologically developed, and they've got amazing military capabilities.
Well, there's a reason why the Persian community in America is so successful. That's what they're coming
course.
from.
Oh,
yeah.
that's where the civilization reformed after the flood 13,000
You saw the
years
photos
ago.
of before the
Best
Islamic
DNA on
Revolution?
Earth.
Yeah, of course.
And it looks amazing.
I mean,
and
I know
wish
so
could-
many people that have escaped from that time. Like,
You
I
know,
know from the 70s.
it does piss me off to a great degree that there are parts of the world we can't go. And I mean that. The idea of being able to travel, learn, and see everything, I think it's an important human experience. And I want to go to Antarctica and go beyond the ice wall.
So true.
Do you think they're going to have a Buc-ee's in Tehran when we liberate them? Do you think that's going to happen?
I
I hope
don't
so.
do not want that. I hate
They'll understand
global
freedom.
homogenization.
Oh, they'll understand America.
No, I can't stand more than anything. I can't stand going to a foreign country
Seeing
and
a
then
Starbucks.
No, yeah, Starbucks,
Seeing a
Gucci,
Starbucks,
Hard
yeah.
Rock,
Yeah.
all
Going
this
to a
stuff.
foreign country and going to the McDonald's and everything's prepared properly.
Yeah.
No, their McDonald's
get what you
workers that
order.
speak better English than ours.
Yeah,
Not
right.
That's
beeping
usually
for
what.
some reason,
If
like
they-
a bomb's
The
about to
ice
go
cream
off.
machine
Yeah.
works.
But that's,
Yeah,
what, that's
right.
what you were saying in Venezuela. It's about a 100-year oil contract through corporations that are homogenizing. It would be the same in Iran, more homogeny for American supremacy. I mean,
Well, this is
it's
the thing-
annoying, but it's better than fucking throwing rocks at
this
each
is
other.
the issue is that
I'm saying no. I don't want to see Iran turn into a cookie cutter carbon copy of the United States or Times Square. That's not to say that the people of Iran shouldn't have functioning democratic institutions. Republican.
I didn't even say democratic.
Well, I'm
just
saying democratic-
functioning institutions.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They could have a military dictatorship so long as the people's rights are respected.
Well,
and
look
the
at
country's
Singapore. It's a benevolent dictatorship, right? There are different
So they
countries.
say.
So they say. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, is it really a dictatorship if you're rich? Like,
That's a good
people live very
question.
comfortably there. I've been to Singapore, and you call it a dictatorship, but I was never impeded in any way from anything.
Well, that's why it's a benevolent dictatorship. That's just
Sure.
my point, which is
Functioning
we're not saying
dictatorship.
we're not saying let's go and make
Serge
these
is
women
off
girl
camera
bosses
going,
like
"It's
Afghanistan
dope."
and give them democracy and let's just not have a radical Islamist who threatens to choke off the Strait of Hormuz for trade and threatens to send oil to Russia and China in yuan and rubles instead of U.S. dollars.
Who doesn't
That's what we
support the
want.
Houthis?
Who
Who doesn't
doesn't support the
Hamas?
Houthis,
doesn't
yeah.
support
Can you grant
Hezbollah.
there's a distinction between the risk level with operations in Venezuela versus Iran? Because I mean,
Why does that matter?
Because when you're talking about like potentially kicking off global conflict, I mean, I think it's a relevant question.
Do you really think that there's like legitimate global? Because I mean, like we were talking about earlier, like I don't think that Russia or China would actually do serious support.
It depends on how well the operation goes, and that's the
Okay,
question mark.
how about this?
No, I don't
What's
think
the
that
risk?
Russia can do anything.
What's the risk if we don't? Because everyone loves talking about this risk if we do. But what about the risk if we don't? It's no petrodollar. It's our enemies having access to the energy, to the oil choke point of the
It's
world.
your children learning Mandarin in 30
It's your
years.
children learning Mandarin.
So what's gonna
That's
happen?
the risk.
But we've already like kind of what we've realized over the last year is that a lot of our global adversaries are paper tigers in a lot of ways, and so it just doesn't seem like conducive.
So then that's actually against what you just said. Then it should be very
I
easy to take
disagree.
them out.
No, well, I'm just saying as far as like
We-
it doesn't require immense like geopolitical plays right now.
We can't sustain, like, we overproduce our military. And there was a post I saw on X where they were like, who was it? Some guy said, subsidies for Israel are actually subsidies for the U.S. the military industrial. It was a progressive who said this. It's us funding the military industrial complex through Israel, where we can claim it's for foreign aid, but we're actually buying and building bombs. Yeah, how do we do that? How do we sustain our economy? Through the petrodollar. We don't need to produce widgets and sell them. The way it works for everybody else, they have to export more. Like any job you have to make more money than you're spending, right? Like you American people. Think about this. Imagine you didn't have to actually have a job because in order for anybody to make money, they had to ask your permission first. That's what the American system around the world is. And so why do we have these ships, these bombs, military power? China, Russia, Iran, South Africa, many other nations that are opting to join the BRICS alliance. This was the collapse of American supremacy.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing that the U.S. does, blows up kids like Obama was doing, or killing Abdul Rahman al-Awlaki or anything like that. I do think it will be miserably bad if China becomes the unipolar power. As bad as you think the United States is, it is infinitely better than every other
Someone
alternative.
gives you a paper tiger.
Well, I just
great
don't-
philosophy.
I
It's
think-
true.
well,
Look at the
I-
way Iran's about to fall on its own.
Well, yeah, that's the saying. It's
And
like
then it's also less of a risk
Okay.
than you're claiming.
well, no,
right?
I'm only interrupting you to glow you, bro.
My
because
point with
you're hot.
Iran is that the risk of it being a quagmire is higher. Not necessarily that we wouldn't be like successful in an operation there, but the risk of it just being an in and out like Venezuela is much higher. Again, that's why I led the show with like I do have faith in Trump and Hex have to make this calculation. But the point of them being a paper tiger is it was like common thought for the longest time that we were heading towards a multipolar world, especially after Afghanistan. I mean, I was saying this, but we're seeing increasing there's indicators coming from China and Russia that things aren't so hot. I mean, obviously Russia, we're not seeing much success from them on the battlefield. So my point is, America, I don't think our position as a unipolar power is really being threatened too much. And as long as we can dominate our hemisphere, I think that's pretty satisfactory.
But it is. I mean,
is,
for
yeah.
the past 15 plus years, article after article after article has been written about how China is on pace to dominate the global economy and displace us.
And then in the last 3 years, it's article after article saying I don't even know if their population is what they're saying it is. And then
After COVID.
right, and I'm
Yeah.
saying so.
Ugh, what a
COVID
dream idea.
detrimented.
I hope that's true.
COVID detrimented China.
Decimated.
China,
Which means to remove by
right,
to
and then
reduce by
also-
10%.
It did both, yeah.
And then also with the
Detrimented them as well.
second Trump admin, he's basically just trying to correct because Biden fumbled the situation. Is Biden was inheriting basically our global adversaries fumbling the ball, and Biden also fumbled. Where now Trump comes in, he's mopping up these messes. We're in a very good position right now.
Somebody, before we go to the next story, somebody commented that in 2007, this is, what is it? I'm going to read your name. Botch Vinnick. In 2007, Venezuela got sick of U.S. oil companies ripping them off. I hate
Oh
communists.
yeah, that's
I
what
hate
got
communists. Like
Third world.
there's some dude, because I run a business, right? And I've worked with a bunch of contractors and a bunch of companies, and I've been a manager at other companies. And I tell you, I have met so many communists where it's like, I just deserve your stuff. And I'm like, dude, okay, you're allowed to have your stuff. If I say to you, hey, brother, do this thing for me, and in exchange, I'll give you X. I'll give you money. They go,
theft.
No, they say, okay. Then they do the job and go, I deserve more than this. I say, yo, we had an agreement.
but
If you
sometimes-
don't like the agreement, you can leave.
But sometimes you come to town with more stuff, and they're like, "Hey, where'd you get all this stuff?" You're like, "My dad gave it to me
So
when he
what?
came here and killed your dad."
No.
And they're like, "I
That's
want
not
my
what-
land back,
and that's
bro.
not what
Give me
we're
my
talking
dad's
about.
stuff."
And that
well,
doesn't
the
matter
argument
anyway.
of 100 years ago, the British came in and started taking their oil.
We're
Do you
talking
think
about
those communists
point-
ever
the
give
point
land
is-
acknowledgements to the U.S. on the oil rigs?
The point is,
No.
we built the infrastructure. We could have deal. They could have said no. Then they go, we deserve everything you did. All your work is now ours. You ripped us off. I say no to that. Bro, I don't know what my dad did, okay? I'm me. I'm me here now. Don't take my stuff.
Yeah, not to mention Venezuela's literally well, up until recently, they were literally making claims on Guyanese territory because again they found
right.
they found
Yep.
oil reserves off of their coast. So it's like Venezuela's not even surprised. The left's hypocritical, I know, but it's like they're not even honoring sort of their gripe with the U.S. They're doing the same thing to Guyana because they're a minnow in the neighborhood.
Let's jump to this next story. We have it from the Hindustan Times of all.
They're
papers.
always up there.
Paper of record.
Verizon under cyber attack. Company addresses outage amid hacked speculations. iPhones on SOS. We have an update from Verizon. Mashable saying they've broken their silence. In response to a frustrated customer, a Verizon support account seemed to suggest that customers could be entitled to a discount. Really?
I don't want a discount. I
They
just want my
provided
phone working.
Mashable with a statement about the ongoing outage. Verizon engineering teams are continuing to address today's service interruptions. Our teams remain fully deployed and are focused on the issue. We understand the impact this has on your day and remain committed. So I think we have this down detector showing it wasn't just Verizon initially, though many reports said it was only Verizon that was down. T-Mobile, AT&T, other cell networks said our networks are fine. It's just Verizon. I'm not sure if we have. I thought I had the image pulled up. Apparently, it keeps disappearing every time I do pull it up. But I'll pull that up in a second. The concern here with the Verizon outage was that some thought it may be retaliation from Iran.
Yeah, I thought so.
Taking down a cell network, and they took out basically the whole country's Verizon network, doesn't just cut off communications. It stops deliveries. It's like everything. It stops office workers from scheduling meetings.
It also just shows us they can.
Indeed.
I think that's also the point.
Which is also a tell. I was thinking Art of War would say, don't take out everything you can at first. Like, don't show them your full potential. It looks like they hit us as hard as they could, and that was what is going to happen when we put Starlink, Elon, over Iran, and then they shut off Starlink, and then this is retaliation for us trying to bug their system with Starlink. Sorry, guys. Global satellite, Unimind incoming. Prep your Palantir. Are you ready to be seen from above by satellites? Because it's
This
coming.
is
Does anyone know what's happening?
This is the down detector map showing the Verizon outage. And if you look closely, you'll notice it's every major urban population center. So you notice the areas where there's no outages? It's because there's no people there. I'm half kidding. There are some people there.
There's Chinese
but
farmland next to our
more
military
than
bases out
half
there.
of our population is on East Coast. These are all the
Yeah.
dense urban areas, even near the water. And then you have LA, you've got Central California, and then of course you've got the Pacific
Well,
Northwest.
Salt Lake City got spared. What do the Mormons know?
Mountain
Do they have
T-Mobile.
their own infrastructure?
Iran was incapable of targeting the Mormons
I think
because
that's what it
they
is.
are the correct religion.
The magic
You know who's
magic
unaffected by
underpants,
this?
I think.
The Amish, undefeated.
It's true.
They
The
are.
Amish have no idea.
You know, there's theories that the future of America in like 30 years will be all Amish.
Oh, it's demographic
great way to
projections.
live.
Yeah, because they have like 80 babies.
By
It's
21
Better than being
by
Muslims.
2100, 20% of Pennsylvania will be Amish at current numbers, and then obviously a lot of people are going to leave the state. The Amish don't really leave, so it's going to be like, and literally by the end of this century, you're going to have Democrat and Republican politicians courting the Amish vote. It's going to be hilarious.
Yep.
The same thing in New York. In New York City, is Brooklyn is projected to be as red as Alabama again by the end of the century because of Hasidic birth rates.
Did someone say that this was in response to what happened in Venezuela?
No,
It
to
may be.
Iran.
For
When they
Iran.
put Starlink over Iran, and then
Yep.
Iran tried to like block it. They blocked like 80% or all of it.
You're not saying that this outage.
And then
from
I
Verizon
thought
is?
this.
No, saying
This might be
the suggestion
retaliation
online is
from
that Iran launched a cyber attack against our critical
some
infrastructure.
foreign deep state. It might be more than just Iran, like Russia, China, Iran working.
Look, if this
together.
is the best they can do is basically annoy people that have Verizon.
Yeah, no. This is not just annoying people with Verizon. This is Verizon Business Network, which is the internet that we had used at the castle, which is extremely expensive. So this is a business guy who's going to do a multi-million-dollar infrastructure deals. Phone's not working. People grossly underestimate the power of shutting down communications because we base almost our entire economy on internet exchange. So when you shut down the internet, you are disabling the country's economy. If even by a few percentage points can cost trillions over the year or over the years, hundreds of billions.
Sure.
And if we are in a race against China and they're trying to manufacture weapons, you want to disable their economy. If you're trying to be the unipolar power, slowing the U.S. down by even a fraction of a percent can get you over the finish line.
I think my point is that compared to what happened in Venezuela, what the United States did in Venezuela, this really is small time. I know.
How many people died?
Pardon me?
How many people died?
In Venezuela?
No, in the United States today.
Oh, I don't know.
Because their phones didn't work and they couldn't call 911.
No idea.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people.
Yeah.
It still doesn't. It still doesn't rise to even close to the level of
I-
shutting
Who
an
said
entire
this was
city.
the most they
Obviously,
could
we
do,
can
though?
nuke Iran and turn the glass at any moment. The point is, these attacks are serious and kill people. Like I hear it all the time since the inception of these cyber attacks. People would be like, "Well, my phone isn't working." I'm like, "Yes, but you have to understand, the murder rate collapsed in 2007, 2008." Not because people decided to stop killing each other, but because people had ubiquitous phone access.
Again,
This is when phones went crazy. So you can see the curve actually happening.
I'm not trying to say that.
But I get what you're saying, that they're not as strong as us. But my point is, if we go to war, Americans will die. That's the point. We can nuke everybody right now. Everybody gets it. We can turn Iran to a sheet of glass, and we can say we can wipe out 60 million people like that. The point is, I'm saying, if this was a cyber attack, this is small fries compared to what industrial control system hacks could really do. But you're still going to see, just by disabling the cell phones of people for a half an hour, you could get thousands of dead.
My first thought was they hit us with everything they could, but then I was like, but they shouldn't. If you follow the art of war, you don't want to play your full hand. You want to put them off balance with an attack. They do it with targeted strikes, too. A lot of times they'll hit them and then time will go by. Then when the people come out to figure out what happened, they hit them again, and that's when you do the real damage. But foolishly, I believe they just hit us with everything they could because they're desperate. And Khomeini's on his way out.
This is not everything they could have done.
On this,
So there was
hack,
in Trump's first term.
it was the biggest hack they could do. That's what I mean to say.
Absolutely not. In Trump's, are you joking?
In the amount of time they had? Yeah.
No,
No, I'm
bro.
not joking.
There is the
that was just
Mexican
my impulse. I don't
Mexican
know if I'm right.
standoff O-Day theory. So a 0 day, for those that are not familiar, is an exploit that has spent 0 days in the public knowledge or the public database. It's called a 0 day exploit, for which there are probably millions. And I got news for you guys. If you discover a 0 day exploit in critical infrastructure, you could sell it for tens of millions of dollars. So there are people there. So let's start here. Penetration testers. These are guys that will call up a bank and say, I am going to intentionally trying to break into your system and tell you how I did it. You pay me 10 grand. They say, do it, because they want to know how you did so they can try and patch these holes. I guarantee you, if this was a cyber attack, this is them firing a shot across the bow. In Trump's first term, he was launching an airstrike on Iran on the coastline. And abruptly, the fighters turned around and left. And Trump said it was because he did not think the amount of dead that would come from this attack was an appropriate retaliation. It was too much. He didn't want to kill that many people. However, at the same time as the attack was going out, an oil refinery in Philadelphia exploded, burst into flames. There is no reason to believe, no evidence to suggest these are related events. However, there has been speculation and rumors. Some people think it's a possibility that when Trump announced he was launching an airstrike, Iran pressed the button and blew up an industrial control center, a petroleum refinery. Then they said, Mr. President, this was just one ICS attack. If you carry this out and we go to full-scale war, you could see water pumps, chemical reclamation, all of these things going up. The critical infrastructure for our industrial control systems in this country, famously, even up to 10 years ago, was from the 70s. In fact, I watched this really amazing video. There's a guy who sells floppy disks still to this day. And it's because our industrial control systems still use floppy disks for updates. I kid you not. The ability, the advancement in cyber offense is so advanced compared to where we were when we were using floppy disks.
Yeah, the real danger around the bend is quantum breaking quantum cryptography. Once the
Well, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, so I'm going to ignore what you're saying, and I apologize, but I'm going to.
Talking about getting into systems,
That was an
You're
absurd
not talking
left
about quantum
turn.
cryptography. We're not talking about breaking into
No,
systems.
we're talking about a guy launching a drone with a pre-programmed package on broadcast, and when it gets within 40 miles of a U.S. nuclear reactor, it blows the thing up. And I went to DEF CON and Black Hat 13 years ago. This is 13 years ago, maybe 12 and a half years ago, and met the guy saying, here's how I can blow up an oil refinery from 80 miles away. You launch a drone, it flies 40 miles an hour. It's going to fly it's going to fly 40 miles. You launch it from the halfway point. You drive away at the same time. Once the drone gets within broadcast range, which could be up to 10 miles, the old 1978 computer system gets hacked, and then what they can do is the demonstration they showed us was they can force two. There's an intake and there's an intake and an exhaust. They can force both to pump water straight in the same direction, making pipes explode, causing reactor meltdowns and things like this.
Do you think that the world basically, just like we all have nuclear deterrence, a lot of us, that we have infrastructure deterrent as well? Like we all have each other's infrastructures by the nuts?
We have what's called the Mexican standoff zero-day theory, or the zero-day mutually assured destruction hypothesis. That is, every major power on the planet has already infected each other's critical infrastructure via zero-day exploits to destroy at a moment's notice. And so everybody's got their finger over the button. You'd think it was nuclear weapons. That was the Cold War. Now, since we've put all of our industrial controls onto these computer systems, hackers from every country have been doing everything in their power to infect them. So that if we go to war with Russia, China, or Iran, they press a button and then explosions happen all across our country. Our nuclear weapons are horribly not maintained. There's been numerous reports on this internally and in the public that we don't even know where some of the tools are to pop these suckers open. And there's the fear that the systems in place to secure and control them have already been hacked. So I tell you this, if you think nuclear weapons are the most powerful technology we have right now for war, man, I got a bridge to sell you. Because that's technology from 70 years ago, almost 80 years ago.
I was thinking earlier too, and I'm thinking it again now, that when Khomeini, if he truly left the country earlier and they averted that, it's like no country on earth wants hot conflict with the U.S. They're like, please don't start World War III. You're the only country on earth that has the capability of doing it and probably ending it really fast if you want. Please don't. And
I will say something interesting with the Hindustan Times here is all the events going on in the world, right? You have the Iran situation, Venezuela, unrest in the U.S. and Minneapolis. The top two stories they've gone with on their ticker are both cricket related. What is going on in India?
Cricket paste.
Yeah, fascinating.
We've got breaking news right now and an update on the story. We have this from Bill Malugan. This is happening right now. He says, I'm told by 4 law enforcement sources there has been another ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis tonight. I'm told ICE was making contact with a target who then allegedly assaulted an officer with a shovel or swung a shovel. Shots were fired, and the suspect ran back in the house. No info yet on if anything was actually shot, just that shots were fired. So if something was hit. Very preliminary. More info as we're getting it. We will have an update for you as we go through this, but I do want to jump to the story, which is massive, from CBS News. The ICE agent who shot Renee Good suffered internal bleeding. We are now looking at CBS with 2 U.S. officials and DHS confirming. That is 3 independent sources confirming the ICE agent in question suffered internal bleeding to the torso following the incident, which confirms he was struck by the vehicle. Now let's throw it to our good friend over here, Adam Cochran. He says, BS. Internal bleeding against a non-pinned, moving, armored individual would require the blunt hood of a car going at least 35 miles an hour. Renee was driving a Honda Pilot. It averages 3.5 to 4.0 meters per second squared in a 0 to 60 run. At 2 feet away from the officer. Okay, I'm not reading all this.
okay, but he's probably doing math assuming she didn't slam the gas.
An abdominal wall hematoma tearing his muscle while moving because he is old and out of shape is possible. But if he disagrees, then he is more than welcome to waive HIPAA and release the medical report, but the math doesn't lie. No, he doesn't need to. Because simultaneously, the funny thing about this is that people are just saying, so you're saying he got a bruise? And my response is, so you're admitting he got hit?
Yeah, literally. Like, yeah, you're cooked when you're like crunching numbers to like disprove a video. Like, it's over for you.
It doesn't matter what you. Doesn't matter any information that comes out, all of the narratives have been consumed, and the people that believe that he was in the wrong believe that he's in the wrong. The people that believe that he's in the right believe that he's in the right.
I don't agree. I
Fox
think
9
people's
reporting,
opinions are fluctuating right now.
Fox 9 breaking news: an individual was shot in the leg. So the story is currently developing, and we'll follow this one. But there you have it, guys. The ICE agent was hit by the car. I mean, we all knew it. And you know what really irks me is that earlier today, Grok on X was a trend, and it said Minnesota-based poet who was killed. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I took the story, and I went into Grok, and I pasted it to see how it would respond to its own trending thing. And it told me on Grok that Jonathan Ross was not struck by the vehicle, and that analysis by CNN and the New York Times proved that he had stepped out of the way of the vehicle and was clear of harm. And so then when this story broke, I said, here you go. Why is it? Oh, and the funny thing about it, I asked Grok, I was like, what do you mean? There's video of him getting hit. And it said, according to Tim Pool, there is. I'm not kidding. It literally said that. And it was like, based on commentary from Tim Pool, many people are claiming he was struck, though CNN and the New York Times, with cross-reference analysis, showed that he was not. And I'm just like, that's the crazy thing I've ever heard. And now, how stupid must you feel, Grok, you dumb mother?
Yeah, literally.
I love also how they use the photos of the woman from before her like lesbian pronouns turn, right? When she was in a heterosexual relationship,
Oh,
and she's
yeah.
like, then she looks normal and not from like the pixie haircut
Right, the
barista
glow down
look.
was crazy.
Yeah, glowed down for
Yeah.
sure. But did you guys see the story of the I don't know if this is totally accurate, but it said it was the last white woman who was shot in Minneapolis. Did you see this? This woman, Justine Damond, I think is how you pronounce her name, but this woman in 2017 called the cops in Minneapolis because she heard something going on outside. The cops showed up. They shot her, a white woman. The officer was Somali,
Oh,
okay?
wow.
He was sentenced to prison. His sentence was overturned by the state Supreme Court. And now he's the headmaster of the Quality Learning Center. No, not that part. But no, he was released.
Yeah.
Because imagine if it were reversed. By the way, obviously, if Renee were black, the city would be on fire right now. But black people are not going to be protesting a white woman named Renee being
Yeah,
shot.
literally.
So that's why things are not on
Especially
fire right
Renee,
now.
right?
Especially
Renee
Renee.
is just like a little too much. It's a little too
Yeah.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, holy Christian, you know.
The singer
Very
and
Christian,
lesbian. Yes. The only way this story could be like really full circle is if it had been a Subaru and not a Honda Pilot.
So true. She had like a wallet or something too. Like, the resist libs are cooked though. Like they're literally turning into mathletes. Like that's all they have left. That's all they got left is they're just whipping out the calculator, the abacus. Like it's over for them.
The second video was pretty apparent that he got jacked. Either he jumped back.
Yeah. And what's like the implication? Okay, let's just say hypothetically he didn't get hit. Yeah, she still drove a car. Like, what kind of what is going on?
That's the thing. When you start getting into the granular details, it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
all of the stuff that people say, it's like Angry Cops had a great breakdown of it. The guy was in front of her car, and she accelerated in his direction. Right, like that's all that it takes. He felt like she was going to hit him, and that's all that it takes. That's why I didn't believe that he was going to get indicted. I still don't think that he's actually going to get indicted, and from what I'm hearing, it looks like he's not.
That's what got that guy in Charlottesville booked. Is he accelerated and then like a woman had like a heart attack.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, that was caused by the car.
We did hit
wrecking.
her.
Yeah, I know.
But
Hit her,
they
I'm
were
saying-
attacking his vehicle and
right.
stuff.
So it's like that's the precedent. Like you can't. So it's like what are we doing here?
But all of this is a distraction tactic. That's all it is, because this is all in response to the videos from Nick Shirley and the fraud. And what that exposed is the Democrats need massive fraud networks to buy votes to win elections. That's actually what this is about. And now they have their useful idiots, the same people that defend Islam and defend all these other crazy ideas. And they're protesting. I mean, how many, I wonder from these crowds, do we know how many like minorities are actually out there? Or is it just like white people with pronouns?
Yeah.
Serge has a rule that if you, or I guess you'd call it a law, that where there's corruption, there's more corruption of that kind.
Yeah.
He's from South Africa. He was telling me before the show, and he's like, bro. So I call it Serge's law. Where there's corruption, there will be more corruption. And someone on the show brought up in California, they're uncovering now a corruption network too. Do you remember the name of that one, Serge, from the pre-show? Sorry, I don't have that pulled up.
No.
Yeah, but it's not,
the
like you're
fraud is-
saying, it's a big network of people.
Well, that's exactly the point. So like what Nick Shirley did was he showed the daycare centers. Do you guys know about the Medicaid fraud?
Right.
That they're also doing, where they're reporting that their children are autistic, so they could get like $1,500 a month in government subsidies, and they say that their child has to go to a community doctor that understands their culture. They have to go to a community center, not just the daycare centers. And the only reason why I don't fully blame our government for catching this sooner is because I think they saw this and thought, oh, when you marry your sibling and your cousin, like, yeah, your kid's going to be like retarded. But that's actually different than being autistic. And the money that they were getting from this Medicaid fraud, they were actually getting cash for a lot of it. And they were putting actual cash onto planes to Somalia to go directly to Al-Shabaab.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
congratulations,
like, if they were
taxpayers,
autistic,
for
like
funding.
if they were autistic, we wouldn't need. They just give them like a phone book or something, and they would just light up. Like that's clearly not what's happening. These people, they're really dumb. That's why they like drive. They drive around in dinghies.
Just got that.
Yeah. They're driving around in dinghies, like attacking like cargo shit. Like these people.
When was the last time you had a math genius come out of the Somali community? I don't think they're autistic. I don't think they have chess players. I think
Yeah, if they're autistic, it'd be like they'd be the
they'd
fraud.
be
would
productive members of society.
The fraud would have never gotten exposed. They'd have that down pat.
100%.
They'd be locked in. WWE'd be
100%.
touring in Minneapolis
Yeah.
every year. Like what's going on?
We mentioned this the other day. The fact that the culture that they come from is there's a lot of corruption generally. I was saying about a guy in Maine. There was
Yes.
He was like, oh, look, we voted for you. The Somali community voted for you.
Yes.
Now you have to protect us, and it because they were gaming the system. And he came out and said it because to people that come from that culture, it's normal.
Yes,
Right? Like
yeah.
it is totally normal to be like, we voted for you, so you have to step in between the law and us and protect us. And that when you have that kind of culture, like you don't just transfer into another place and the magic soil just makes you into a Jeffersonian Democrat.
Well, that's why like across the third world, like the hustle grind set culture really took root, is because in these cultures they have like a get mine mentality where it's like the laws are just like an impediment in the way of like me getting rich, and so that's why these things just click for these people, because they don't care if it's on the books or off the books. They just got to get rich at all costs. When they see like a private jet fly overhead, that like bothers them fundamentally. And the West, we're just kind of content with the middle class. Like
but I mean,
with it.
part of the problem is the fact that like you'd think that the elected officials would say, no, we don't do that. But it seems like the Democrats nationwide have been doing all they can to not just cover for them, but be a part of the corruption.
Well, it's like an ethnic remittance program. I mean, that's fundamentally what the Democrat Party is turning into as time goes on. That's why Zoran is the way he is because he's just simply trying to get revenge against white America fundamentally. And the best way to do that is like through defrauding our like welfare systems, which were set up somewhat benevolently, and then now that's the case all across the West. It's like you can't bring a culture that's not Western into the West and expect them to understand why our welfare system exists.
That's a great point. Like you can't bring a culture that is not Western into the West and expect them to be the West. If you see it on X all the time. If you bring the third world in, you become the third world.
Westerners like fundamentally view welfare as like an embarrassing thing.
Yeah.
Like John Doyle made this point. It's a really good point. Is he was talking about his neighbor's like house burnt down or something, and everyone in the neighborhood was like offering help, and he was like, no, like I want to do this myself. I don't want to get handouts, that sort of thing. That's like a very Western, specifically American mindset where people come from the third world and it's like, oh, free money, sick. Like they don't have that sense of, there's not a sense of shame for receiving handouts.
Well, I was going to say, actually, like right next to Somalia is Somaliland. And these couldn't be more different as two countries that are right next to each other. And kind of to the point we were talking about earlier with Iran and versus Iraq and Afghanistan, like you don't need a democracy to be a functioning country, actually, which is like, and I'm very pro-democracy, pro-America, but not all cultures can have that, or at least the way they're set up right now. Like they're not ready for democracy. But Somaliland is a great example where they had a centralized, unified tribe, basically. And that's why they're flourishing. And they're also like pro-West and like pro-Israel. And Bibi, just like to piss off a bunch of people, just acknowledge Somaliland, and Somaliland's like the people are like running around the streets celebrating it. And you have Somalia with, retards claiming to be genius autists, basically.
Well, and Somaliland was administered by the British too, and the British like were really good at setting up centralized government structures in their colonies. It's the only reason that like a lot of these African countries haven't just collapsed yet is because the British were so effective at centralizing power.
100%.
The rest of Somalia, no offense, is administered by the Italians. I think we all know what that means.
Inbreeding's horrible, man.
It means good food.
It's true.
If you
It's
don't
not
have,
great food.
like if a culture doesn't have the education, I think maybe people take it for granted that if other people, the level of ignorance other humans are operating at, like if they don't know, they'll just, it's almost like you want to go in and help them. Like people would throw their garbage in the same river they would drink out of, I mean,
Yep.
in Peru right now, I was down there
Have you been
teaching
to
people.
India, Ian?
I've heard stories.
I've heard India. Who was
yet.
it saying India's doing better than the U.S. right now? Were you saying
Someone
that?
that's
So,
got brain damage.
I've heard stories of India where the bathrooms are so disgusting in the like the public restrooms, people will just go outside. Like you walk inside and you're like, "Whoa," so you go outside and just go on the ground.
I heard that exact story this morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then people will be like, well, New York City in the 1800s, like people would throw their trash out of windows, or same in London. I'm like, yeah, 200 years ago. So are you like admitting that your society is 200 years behind? Like that's a self-own when you say that.
It's disgusting.
Guys,
our
we got-
ideological opponents are retarded.
we got crazy news. World War III may be upon us. We have breaking news coming out of Greenland. German troops touched down in Greenland in a matter of hours, as Danish leader says country is still stuck in a fundamental disagreement with the U.S. over the island after a frank meeting. We're now getting reports that French troops may be heading to Greenland
Not
to
the
protect.
French.
That's right.
Well, do you know
Famously, in the past 100 years, great at modern warfare.
do you know how many troops Germany sent?
Is it 3?
18. Whoa, hang
was
on.
it really?
Hang on. The Norwegians sent 2.
Whoa.
Nice, yeah.
So
So
I'm
if you're
actually
the-
more worried about those guys.
Yeah,
Those
Norway's
Germans-
like we only
Is,
need these
is
two.
Dolph Lundgren Norwegian?
I don't. Magnus Carlsen, he could do some like sick chess plays.
Those-
so you
those-
think Norway was like, should we send 10,000? Like I got 2
No,
great
he's
guys.
Swedish.
We got 2
Close
great
enough,
guys.
though.
The
Oh, it's
Germans
same
are
thing.
the Germans are going to keep the French that are going in line.
Can you just imagine being Hegseth right now? Like we're ready to go in. We have our military just waiting at the gates to take Greenland, and they see 18 Germans. Oh, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, I strongly don't
They're all
think
speaking
that.
Turkish.
We could probably
anyway.
get a girls field hockey team in like high school to go and take these guys down. I don't
they're
think it's gonna
We
take
should
that
use some of
much.
these trans athletes
Look,
and
they're
send them
talking
over
about
there. They're all
military
juiced
options.
up, ready to go.
I have a feeling they're just going to pay them. They're just going to be like,
oh
all right.
yeah. Supposedly it's going to be like 700 billion.
Yeah.
Trump
Yeah.
was like, "We'll give you whatever you want."
Yeah.
And apparently the Greenlandics is that what we call them?
Greenlanders.
Eskimos.
Doesn't
the
the
Greens.
Greenlanders sound like a sports team?
The
Green-
Greens.
Greenlanders.
Yeah.
The green the green people. They're down.
Oh,
I mean,
dude,
imagine-
the U.S. is so good. Welcome, you guys. We're going to vacation.
Yeah.
It's going to be ultimate, bro.
I bet it's great in the summer.
Ultimate.
Muddy.
Well, and like the
Greenlanders.
Greenlanders, all what's going to happen is we're just going to send in Texans to like industrialize the place. It's going to be a red territory if it becomes a state of red state, right? Because there's
Bro,
not
look at
very many
this.
Greenlanders.
Look at Nook in the summer. Look at this photo.
It's Nook right now, but we're going to rename it to Tool. We're going to go back to the Viking.
Is that what it was
etymology.
called?
It was called Gotthab for a long time. That was the Danish name. And this is the problem with Greenland. This is why I think people should pump the brakes a little bit. Is because we're like
Look at that,
we're
dude.
exploiting like leftist language against Denmark. So it's like, no, we're actually going to return Nook to Gotthab.
Look at
This
this.
will be the original
Oh, I
name.
like
Bro,
that.
we get the puffins.
We do get the puppet.
I think it
about
makes
all the
sense
puppets we get.
because
Adorable.
Denmark's going to make money and be really out ahead in the global market.
No, we're not paying Denmark. We're going to pay the Greenlanders
buy-
to
Wow.
vote.
Well, hopefully we pay
No, I think
Denmark
we're
for their
gonna
In
territory.
July, the high is 52 degrees Fahrenheit.
And
That's
and
the
so
warmest
those,
it's ever been.
and now the territory can be properly defended. If a conflict does
Yeah.
break out, that was a severe liability for the Northern Hemisphere, especially in the Atlantic. So
Yeah,
I think a lot of people can win out of it. It's a wonderful country, and I'm talking about the United States. Greenland
Look at this.
looks
Yeah,
freaking
greenhouse?
phenomenal.
The Danish, they were like, now what they're saying is like, it's perfectly defended. I don't know what you're talking about. Literally, like 6 months ago, they had a whole thing at the EU where they were like, the Chinese could take this whenever they want.
Look at this. Look at this word.
The
Migadalen.
Is that a slur for?
Yeah.
And people make fun of English.
I don't know.
So
Literally.
the funny thing is, the reason why this story is important is that it shows how the left is batting 1,000 at being retarded. So look, I'm not trying to drag literally every liberal, but when you are always against Trump, even when it makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
Trump didn't say we're going to go massacre the Greenlandic people and take over their. He's like, we're going to give them a bunch of money and welcome them to America, and they're like, no, that's a bad thing. And I'm like, what is the argument against negotiating for a territory to join the United States? Like, honest, like, what's the honest argument against this? There is not one.
The Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson did, and he did it without congressional authority, and it was probably the greatest move of any president in the last ever.
And it was also really
might-
controversial at the time. Like a lot of people were like, this
People
is
were
a-
fucking pissed.
Yeah,
They were like, you
"Why-
did this
just
without
bought
authority."
a bunch of like stupid land we can't use. Like, thanks a lot, dude.
I do just want to point out that a lot of the like dumb meme accounts will say, "Oh, I don't think we should get involved in Iran," right? But like they're the ones playing Freebird, saying like, "Yeah, let's take over Greenland and make it the 51st state." So like, I think people are being really inconsistent about this. I think this is a great idea, as is
Wait, so
getting
you
the
think,
oil
you
of
think
Iran.
buying Greenland's the same as invading Iran?
It's that
I mean,
easy,
we could
baby.
buy Iran. Maybe we should
Bro,
try that.
Just imagine going to to Greenland and being like, how would you like your very own Hard Rock hotel and casino?
In the shape of a guitar.
Look at the
Yeah,
land that
right.
we got to
They all-
preserve.
Smack it right
Can
in
you
the
imagine
middle.
with the
Playing
guitar?
blackjack with a bunch of Eskimos with their hoods on. That'd be
Eskimos,
sick.
they're not Eskimos. They're from Greenland. They're Greenlandic.
It's cold, but it's not that cold.
They're actually Inuit.
I want to know what's under the
Are
ice.
they
What-
Inuit?
Ice
That's
50? Come
the
on.
like
In
actual
the summer?
term is Inuit.
For Greenland.
Yes, the Eskimos live there.
Nice.
Eskimos like the old term, but they're
Inuits.
called Inuit.
Yeah.
It's like
It is
10,
the Inuit there, huh?
It's 10 to 20% Danish, and the rest of the population's Inuit.
Yeah. I remember when Don Jr. went with
think it's 10%
JD,
Danish.
and all the people looked very indigenous.
I was only 25% right. It's the Greenlandic Inuit.
Oh,
So there is a distinction.
There is. Well, because we have our own Inuit in Alaska, and
Yeah.
they cry.
Where
You
does
know,
the
I'm,
Eskimo
I'm,
kiss
I'm
come
really
from?
offended by woke because they renamed Barrow to Utqiagvik.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
And the way I went to Utqiagvik a couple years ago, and it was beautiful. It's an amazing place, but everything says Barrow, and everyone calls it Barrow. And the reason why it's called Utqiagvik is that they had a vote, and only like a couple dozen people showed up, and they were progressives, and they said, let's rename it its native name.
so dumb.
Every
It's
freaking election.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the crazies that show up, right? That's how Mom
but,
Donnie won.
but the regular people, so I get off the plane, and there's very few people who live there. I think it's like, like 1,000 or 2,000. So we land, I get off the plane, and sure enough, there's like 7 people on the plane who recognize me. And as I'm waiting for my luggage with security, they were like, what are you doing here? This is crazy. And I was like, vacationing. Like, when you want to go to the northernmost city? And then I was like, I was like, how come it's not called Barrow anymore? And they all go, it's called Barrow. Nobody wants to call it Utqiagvik.
Yeah,
It's
we
like
don't
a
want
trans-
it's like a
it's a
Wi-Fi
transgender
password
city.
name. Like, what is going on?
it's
Get these
Denali,
Star Wars
and it's-
names out of here.
It's not Denali, right? It's the Mount McKinley. Yeah.
Mount McKinley. Oh, yeah, that's insane. What, Obama did that?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's trying to pull a fast
Jeez.
one.
They're calling it
And that's the same
Denali.
thing that happened in Greenland. If you ask any
know what?
old Danes, that used to be got that.
Denali's a
Nook.
big SUV.
I'm done. I'm a neocon now. I want everything to be named after whatever we decide it's named after.
so
no more taking away our stuff. You
just
pushed me
I'm
too
sending
far.
you the
The
sending
decolonization names are
7K
like really
Sending it
outrageous.
to you right now. Can you hear the tapping?
Can you tap my phone?
Tapping? Yeah.
No, they're upping it, right? I get more money now.
Like democratic
Inflation's going down,
republicanism
we'll
is
go
top tier, but corporatocracy sucks.
I always explain to people that the idea that people are paid to say things or are hired to say things is not true. There are influence campaigns, but typically what actually happens is in the pre-influencer era. This was really funny. A media company would Ian and Arynne are interviewing for a job. And they would say, you want to be a reporter for my company, Ian? What do you think about Israel?
It's nice.
Right on. Do you think we should provide them assistance and help them out? Like, what are
Oh,
your
you
thoughts?
know, my take on Israel. No, I would have lost the job already if I did that.
Well,
I would just have to pick. I think
no,
that it's an
you're-
important piece of the geopolitical puzzle.
That's
and
great.
The America's invested a lot in it so far.
Amazing. So we'll take your number and we'll get back to you. Thanks for coming in, Arynne. What do you think about Israel?
Love it.
You're hired.
Amazing.
That's how it works.
Really?
They don't go.
It was actually because of the boobs. It wasn't because of the answer.
These companies wouldn't be like, when you work here, we're going to pay you to say good things about Israel. They would just look at 2 candidates and say, what do you think about Israel? And they'd be like, well, I don't really care that much. The other person goes, I love it. And they'll go, when can you start?
So
You don't need to pay someone to say something they want to say.
I agree with that in general, which is what I think.
No, in the influencer era now, they're paying people to say stuff.
They're paying people, but I think it's more than that. Like, so I'll use Megyn Kelly as an example, where I think a lot of people will look at her and say, well, she's not saying this because of any bad incentive, because she already has enough money. Same with Tucker. All these people, Candace, they all have enough money that they don't have to say anything for the money. But what people discount is that these people want something more than money.
No,
They
that's
want
not-
attention.
but that's still not
and so
true.
they say what's popular. I think that's exactly what it is.
It's so money is a component of a lot of the motivations we see for a lot of people, but the idea that these particular individuals, I would argue Candace is more interested in money. Megyn Kelly, I think, is scared of losing what she has,
yes.
and I don't know what Tucker is doing. Tucker, I view largely as there's a few things he said where I'm like, when he said he didn't know who Tommy Robinson was, I was like,
Yeah.
what? Of course you do. But you're allowed to have bad opinions. Megyn Kelly claiming that it's good that Candace Owens alleged that Erica Kirk killed or was knowledgeable of Charlie Kirk's assassination, or that the U.S. military was involved, or that Erica Kirk's actually a machine built
or the
by
trap
the
door
Jews or
beneath
whatever.
Charlie, don't
I'm like,
forget that.
why would Megyn Kelly say it's a good thing? But here's the point. At the amount of money that Candace Owens makes and her husband's net worth, you still don't own like a 185-foot yacht. You don't. And maintaining it's very, very difficult. So if you want one of these Zuckerberg mega yachts, you are not going to get there for some time. And there's always questions about the kind of people that seek money to this degree. They have a hunger inside. And for whatever reason they have it, they fear that if they don't keep making money, they are going to be destitute or something to that effect. They're scared of losing.
That could be right, and us trying to guess what someone's actual motivations are internally, like that may not even understand. Like that's fine, but I think I've seen people in the space for like I'm one of these influencers that gets asked to go on the news, right? And I don't do it all the time because I don't want to spend my time doing that. But I see people who do it because they clearly need the validation. They want to say that they're on the news. They want to be seen doing that, right? So I don't agree with you. I think that like everyone has different motivation. I do agree. I think Megan got so burned in 2016. And she used to talk on her show. She doesn't talk about this anymore, but I used to listen to her every day. She would talk about the months she spent on the couch where the phone never rang. I bet if you searched her old podcast, you'd find that. And so I think where the phone never rang after she got fired from NBC and she had asked Trump the question. So the right spit her out and then the left spit her out. And she was
That's when she took her name off that anti-trans book.
And I think that she was loving the MAGA love so much that now she's afraid. And I think she made a bad call.
Yeah,
just like Kevin Roberts, just like all these other people that thought that a certain part of the movement, they thought that's where the momentum was going. And the inertia did seem to be going in that direction. And they placed a very bad bet because they didn't actually go off of principles. They did what they thought was popular.
That's like having opinions. What? Who really has opinions? Like you're just a bunch of
nobody has any idea what's going on.
You're just a bunch of mix about what's going on around you. Like these people that like stake so much on like I think this is important because I believe thing. It's like I don't know, man.
That's right. Just don't believe anything.
But that's not what we're saying at all. We're not saying that at all. That's not saying that you could have wrong decision. You could have an idea that's bad, like what you just said, for example. No, I'm kidding. But you can have bad ideas. But we all know that Megan and Tucker, but the two of them, I'm taking Candace out because I think she just might be mentally unstable. But I think the two of them are doing things because of very bad reasons. It's not because, like, Megan has come out to say, just because you people want me to think one thing, I'm going to dig my heels in and do the opposite, right? She's out openly saying, I'm not doing this out of principle. I'm doing this just because someone's telling me not to. That's not having a bad idea. That's just being an idiot.
I don't understand why Turning Point.
Yeah, it's like outside. Let me finish this off real fast. It's like outside influences changing your opinion, whether it's people telling you to stop
to begin
or
with.
people.
Yes, they're just
or they're like hyper accelerated by the environment. Like they're just.
You know, I get these comments all the time, and they're like, "Tim thinks he's right about everything." Yes.
Yeah, literally.
Well, there are things I will say I don't know. You know, we had that other Arynne on, and she was like,
"What other Arynne?"
She was a communist one, and she was like, "What would you say if we invaded Syria or this other country?" I'm like, "Don't know." She's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" Say yes or no. I'm like, "No, I can't because I don't know."
Yeah.
But my point is, there are people who will tell you whatever it is you want to hear if they think it's more clicks. Mm-hmm. I will say things that irk some of you sometimes because I'm just going to say what I think.
You're also a massive troll on Twitter.
I know. So I tweeted universal.
Sometimes I can't tell. I'm just gonna start asking you.
I tweeted universal literacy is a mistake, and the left went nuts.
So true.
And then I said the point of the joke was that the illiterate can't get offended by it. Yeah. Like that's the joke. It only offends progressives who are perpetually offended on someone else's behalf.
And that's like a deep Augustinian thought. Like that's a very like classical thought. Yeah, I know. Sometimes the tough thing about being a commentator is sometimes you have to give the correct take and people aren't ready for it. Like on the show today, in the Noon Live, me and Amber Duke had to correctly, unfortunately correct the record for people that Karens are a good thing. Like Karens are really in many ways the last stand for Western civilization. And people got angry. People were, calling us names. But it's like, that's the price you have to pay for being correct.
Yeah, like let's break down what a Karen is. It is a woman asserting the right to her satisfaction and her person and property. And that's what it means to be Americans. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Well, yeah, because they're like, a Karen
the pursuit of management.
A Karen is just like a middle-aged...
Well, why is she calling the manager is the
question.
By the way,
as a type A, uptight New York woman,
right.
I'm in favor of the Karens as well.
We know.
Because all Karen is just a middle-aged woman that has standards. It's like, it's like good.
I'm sorry to do this to both of you, but I have to break down your Karen argument.
Oh, here we go. I'm good on this issue.
There is only one thing that actually makes a woman a Karen.
The haircut.
Ugly.
Chopped.
I was thinking of the haircut.
If an attractive woman
That's true.
was very busty, assertive, and was arguing they would not call her a Karen. If she had a
probably
stupid
true,
haircut and was
yeah.
ugly, they're going to call her a Karen. But you know why? Because thirsty guys aren't going to go online to attack hot chicks.
Right.
They're going to be like, I'll do whatever you say.
It's true. So if you're getting
It's,
called,
it's the it's the inversion of that meme where the hot guy says like looking beautiful, and then she's like, oh, thank you. And when the fat guy does it, she goes, help HR.
yeah, literally. No, it's so true. That's why everyone is. If you're being called a Karen right now, you need to be ascending in 2026.
Let me-
you need to be looks maxing. It's
Let me
really
put it like this.
If Ozempic exists and no one has an excuse to be fat anymore. I'm sorry.
The Danish
you
might
don't.
cut us off. That's their product.
I wanna-
They might
That's
cut us
why
off.
we
When is-
need the petrodollar. That it all comes back.
When is Fat Tuesday?
That Tuesday's the Tuesday before Lent, right?
Yeah, but when is that?
I'm
It's
Jewish.
in March.
Totally
in March?
Protestant, yeah.
I'm not sure.
I want
the
to
date,
get
but it's in
onboard
March.
AI that we can
Fat
just ask
Tuesday,
stuff
bro.
to.
You know what's amazing? You could search it.
We need a button where
Okay,
you
so
can push it and ask the AI.
guys. I want you to imagine this. I want you to just close your eyes, everybody who's listening. Imagine this, okay? You're working the return counter at Walmart. And you're working them.
It'll be
and
February
all of a sudden, in the distance, stomping their way towards you, are a bunch of obese, middle-aged women with the haircut. And they're
Obscure
holding
people.
receipts. And what are you thinking? You're thinking, Lord help me, here they come.
No,
now
I
stop.
s-
Now wait. Now stop. Now hold on. I want you to
crazy.
imagine another scenario. You're working the return counter at the Walmart, and off in the distance, a bunch of women with big tits and bikinis are prancing towards you, holding receipts while they're giggling, demanding a return. You're not mad.
No, those chopped women you're describing are I see them as like the cavalry of Western civilization arriving to save us from this like third world low standard slop that's like been imposed on us. They're coming to say, no, you're going to accept this return. You are going to make an amend for me. You're not just going to do what the computer tells you. You're going to call your manager and you're going to make this right because we are a society of justice
Yeah.
and order and rules. And these Karens are like the last thing
This is America.
defending us from these Somalis.
Just the
I
Somalis.
get fired up about this issue. I'm so pro Karen. I'll die. I will die.
I
Should
saw
I go
like
to
the
Minneapolis?
spear of
Karen.
Alex Stein burst from you
Yeah.
as you yelled.
Because this is like my issue. This is like all I really care about at the end of the day.
It's
Is
And
Alex
so-
Stein going to sage my seat before he sits here later
wholesome.
this week?
I'm gonna do what?
Alex Stein's going to sage the seat that I was in before he sits down.
Well, no, probably not.
I think we have very different ideas. That was the
Oh.
joke. Yeah.
We should get you guys on a show together.
Oh,
That'd be
right,
awesome.
right. Yeah. He's gonna be sitting here actually. I'm not gonna be here on Friday.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have to get the final dental implant.
Man, I've been looking at technology
The
in
final
Japan. Like they
solution.
regrow
Final.
teeth,
Yeah, it's the third.
but you got to take. It's like you can regrow instead of implants, but you got to take drugs. I'm like, I don't know what the drugs are and how they're gonna
DMT?
Regrow
side
your
effect-
teeth?
Yeah.
By the way, I
didn't
had a
research-
tumor once. Everything's fine, thank God. But I had a tumor, and it had a tooth in it.
Did they take the tooth out and like use it for you?
Where?
No, I wanted to see it. I never got to see my tumor.
Where was the tumor?
My tumor was in my ovary.
And it had a tooth in it?
Yeah, it was a
but you
teratoma.
could use the tooth.
That's a baby.
I should have kept the tooth. I
Yeah,
should
because
have,
like,
oh
what
my
if your
God.
tooth falls out when you're old and they'll be like, we got an extra.
From the tumor?
tumor?
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
Yeah.
By the way, I did name my tumor back when I had it because I didn't want to keep saying tumor because it felt really intense. Thank God it was benign. Thanks for asking. Thanks, guys.
We didn't get the
Like,
chance.
They're like,
Did
is
you
she a
name it, like,
is she a
Isaiah?
Make-A-Wish miracle? Is her hair even real? No.
Isaac?
It's probably from a Uyghur slave, but that's okay. It's all extensions.
Did you name it Isaac?
I named it Bill Clinton because he always wants to be inside a Jewish woman.
Oh,
It's a very salient point. It's so true.
Tumors
Yeah.
are pretty cool. You can stretch them and stuff.
We're
Do you
so
ever,
pretty cool.
do you ever like stretch
that's
a
what every
tumor?
cancer patient says. This is great.
Just open it up and let
What
it.
a blessing.
But it
Let it
was
drain.
benign. Everything was fine. Thank you
Nice.
so
Aren't
much.
we all
Dude,
benign?
the
By the
tooth-
way,
okay,
I
one
had
time about the
so
tooth.
many eggs. It's
So you had
fine.
a
Like,
tooth.
it'll be fine.
Is that so? Your
that
body
true?
must
Can we
produce that.
Yeah, it's actually. I
Can
actually.
we get a Patriot fact check?
I
on
did.
our
I
eggs?
got checked. I got checked. It's all fine.
All right.
Tumors are pretty cool.
Just in case anyone's watching.
Welcome back to Eggcast. We're going to discuss fertility today. Not doing too hot. No
But
one's
back
doing
to
hot.
the Greenlandians, you know. I wonder
They're
how
very
their
fertile
eggs are.
people. They're eating a lot of blubber. That's good for vitality.
The blubber. Are
Is
they
that what they
eating?
eat?
Are they
Oh,
eating
yeah,
the
they're-
puffins?
They're big blub. They're
Are
blubs.
they? Is there pufficide in
I think there
Greenland?
is a pufficide.
Oh.
No, save the
You don't
puffins.
know.
We got to go
How
hard on the
much do you
puffins, dude.
know?
We don't
About
know.
the
That's why we got to
pufficide.
invade and find
The
out. So we can
Greenlandic
conduct an
people.
investigation.
We're gonna liberate them.
We are. These puffins.
Just like we're gonna liberate the people of Iran and the
So
petrodollar,
true.
baby.
I love
I think they're
it.
liberating
What, dude?
themselves.
This is Greenlandic food.
Oh, it looks like shit.
Oh yeah. Have you hit the barf
It's
plate
called
yet?
suasat.
Oh yeah.
All the
It looks like
fresh-
someone
Whoa,
ate
look
it
at
and
this.
then threw it up
They
and then
literally-
put it
No,
on
no,
a
no,
plate.
hold on.
They put ass in the
Raw
name.
whale skin and blubber.
They
A
need
cultural
McDonald's.
favorite.
for you.
They need McDonald's.
I've had whale before. It's disgusting.
I bet it tastes like. Does it taste like fat and like?
No.
Like when you're
Fat's
having
delicious.
like a lamb chop and you have like the fat part, but the fat
love
could be
it.
good actually.
It's
though.
like burnt. Ooh.
Whale tasted
when it's
like you
burnt.
take a piece of roast beef, soak it in vinegar, and then leave it out in the sun for a day. That's
Ew.
what it tasted like. And I was in Bergen, Norway,
What does that even mean?
and they had a big plate of whale, and they all were like, oh, and they were shoveling it onto their plate with bread and like mayonnaise or whatever. And they're like, you have to try it. And I was like, it's like taboo for Americans. Like, we don't eat whale. I'm like, but you have to. And I was like, I'll taste it.
Oh my God.
And it was disgusting.
We have to bomb so many countries. Man. This is crazy. This is crazy. What are these people
See,
doing?
now he's turning into a neocon.
I'm going to become a
Not
neocon
for the
over cuisine.
petrodollar.
This is crazy.
Oh,
You're talking
dude,
about
the
bombing
Greenlanders are going
Alaska.
to get.
Have you ever seen Ethiopian food? It comes on an easel and it's like powders.
Well,
do I
Ethiopian
snort
food's
this?
Yes, it's
amazing.
extremely good.
Yeah.
Have you had it?
Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, when
It's
does the
so
food
good.
come? You just gave me different powders.
Well,
No,
that's-
it's a gigantic pancake.
Yeah.
And they
It's
dump a bunch of
sourdough.
lamb meat on it with amazing spices.
Yeah,
it's a
and we
sourdough
hummus.
I had
pancake.
no
Yeah,
idea they had food in
sourdough.
Ethiopia. I'm kidding. It's an old Billy Crystal joke. I do
Yeah,
love
I know.
Ethiopian
And like
food.
And you use
the famine was just like one time 30 years ago, and now no one shuts up about it.
Yeah,
like
literally
I heard
wild.
when I was a kid, they're starving. They're not. They have food.
yeah, it's
big
actually
deal.
a pretty developed
How come no one
place.
ever talks about
fasted before.
Eritrea, huh?
Yeah,
what's going on in
real.
Eritrea?
You know
It's a
why?
dictatorship. They call it
Koreans.
North Korea
Because
of
they
Africa.
don't have oil, so we don't care.
Oh,
So true.
Move on.
Yeah,
Petrodollar supremacy,
What do
baby.
Eritreans eat?
That's the lesson.
They enjoy a flavorful, spice-forward cuisine similar to Ethiopian food. See, that's what I'm talking
Ooh,
about, dude.
look at that
Look
pancake.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, that actually looks kind of good now.
Zigni, spicy beef stew on injera, bold red and aromatic.
Oh, this
Injera.
is actually. Oh, I thought we were
Dude,
on
it's
Greenland.
so
and
dude,
I'm
you
like,
gotta try the slop on the bread. It's really good. Dude, Bourdain
No,
would
it
like
That's
is-
the African
it-
burrito.
Bourdain would be like hovelled over, shoveling into his mouth. And be like, we should learn from the Eritreans. You know, it's like we're good. We're Westerners.
Have
We're
you guys ever actually gone to an Ethiopian restaurant? You have, right?
Yes, yes.
And you sit down at a table, and they bring you a gigantic pancake
Yes.
with lamb, marinated lamb on it, and everyone just rips the pancake and makes little burritos.
You have to really
It's
trust the
amazing.
people you're eating with. I've done it,
Yeah.
and yeah, everyone
your
has to
hands.
wash.
You gotta,
yeah,
you
have to wash
gotta
your
sniff their
hands.
fingers to make sure.
This is why I don't eat
Before I
anywhere.
eat
you never know.
I don't
might-
want to eat. I don't want to eat anywhere
Is that
where
why
I'm
you
like
sniffed my
trust.
fingers before we started?
Well, we weren't having.
Trust is involved in a restaurant.
Actually, that was Ian's.
Crazy.
my fingers are nice.
Oh God.
All right,
Don't-
all
I don't-
right, all right, all right,
I
Ian.
feel
Easy.
like
this.
talk about turning into
Easy.
Dick Cheney right
Easy.
now.
This
Easy.
looks great, dude.
That looks
It
like
is.
dog food.
But it is so good.
Bro, it
That's what you give a dog on his birthday. That's what you give him.
It looks like beef and broccoli.
It's
at
easy to
Chinese
digest.
restaurant. To be fair, Chinese food also looks
I
like
like how
dog
you're saying
food.
this. Okay, let's look
It is
at
dog
British food.
It's dog food. They eat
Beef
animals.
Wellington?
Dude, I'd rather have Ethiopian food than British food. Okay,
Beef
that's
Wellington?
No,
trash.
no,
Yes,
This is
yes.
anti-white.
Blood pudding.
It's crazy.
You said, look at it, like beef Wellington is beautiful.
It is
No.
beautiful.
Hold
No,
on.
it's
Beef
like
Wellington
this-
is trash.
Whoa!
Really?
First the
Yeah.
Karens, then this. I'm gonna
Bro,
This
dude,
is-
if
this is
you're
like-
gonna give me a fillet or
This
tenderloin,
isn't my
just give me
hill
it.
to
Don't
die
put
on.
bread
I'm
in the
dying on the
equation.
Connor Tomlinson
petrodollar.
Hill
I'm
era
not dying
right
on this
now.
fucking hill.
Blood pudding is amazing.
so good.
The
Ethiopian.
British breakfast is the greatest breakfast
So true.
No
ever.
way.
So
No.
true.
Bro,
I'm obviously
American
gonna say an
breakfast was like you
Israeli
get eggs and
breakfast.
bacon. That's it. British breakfast, you get eggs, you get tomato, you get
So true.
mushrooms, you get beans, you get blood pudding.
Get the bubble
the
and
best.
squeak. That's
Nothing
the
like
highest
being
like-
sold beans at
Okay, so
7
who has the best
a.m.
breakfast?
Yeah.
then? Who has the
I'm
best?
obviously gonna say
What?
Israel.
Okay, but here's
What
the
do they- what do they eat,
here's the
hummus?
problem. Here's the problem.
No,
with,
they have veggies and fish and like toast.
That's
There's, like, a
that's
ton of
not
stuff.
food. That's what
and like
becomes
pancakes.
food.
Yeah, you're eating raw. And this is the problem with Jewish food. You guys nail breakfast. I'll give you
That's
that.
Japanese. They eat sushi.
The bagels, you guys, you fall apart after lunch. You start shoveling out like ball soup. Like, what is this? What is this,
for-
Indiana Jones?
You know,
What are we eating?
you're thinking of Eastern. We're not going to get into this, but that's only one type of food, and there's really good Middle Eastern food, and they're Ethiopian Jews.
You guys eat
They're weird.
falafel, right?
Yes.
That's it.
That's actually all we eat. That and matzah. We don't eat anything else. We actually just walk
Now,
around with matzah boxes.
The biggest debate is it called Israeli salad or Arabic salad?
Oh, I've heard that debate. Yeah.
Because
I mean,
like
I call it Israeli
went out,
salad.
I went out to eat with someone once, and we went to a Mediterranean restaurant. I was going to get gyros, and I said, "Can I get some Israeli salad?" And they were like, "The what?"
Well, so
And there's like 35 countries that
Israeli
came
salad.
block of law. It's like
They were like, "This proves
Crazy.
you're a paid shill."
And just for asking
every time
that,
I,
I'll send you another $7K.
yeah, every time I call it Israeli salad, I get $7,000. That's the deal.
We're gonna call it a UN observer salad. I think that'd be a peacekeeper salad.
Just I want to get this out to the masses. The problem I have is theocracy with Iran. I know it's a little. Let me wrap this up.
You're just like,
Israel,
circle
right
back.
turn. Israel's like the only other country on earth I can see that's like pseudo theocracy because it's a Jewish state. But I feel like you could culturally be Israeli because all Jews come from Israel, Jacob, and then religiously
democracy,
follow
though.
Judah's familial teachings and be a Jewish Israeli.
it's a democracy, though. Israel is. Well, they've got Arabs in the
That's what I'm
Knesset.
Grok is like Israeli salad is effectively the same thing as Arabic salad. Indeed, it's
So
just
true. I've been saying
it's,
this
it's
for
which
years.
it really the term you use is just indicative of who you want to kill.
100%.
No, I agree with Grok. Israel, Palestine.
yes,
it's like you're
yes.
both non-Americans, so
that
who
called
cares?
Isn't it a Greek
You know,
salad?
who cares?
I'm calling it American salad. from now on.
Petrodollar.
I'm calling it
I need
American
some of
It's a
these
salad.
freedom
petrodollars.
salad now. That's what it is.
The Gulf of America.
When
I
Israel
think-
starts
I think-
making their own weapons and we stop giving them weapons, then they can call it Israeli salad.
Oh, you gotta try
From
it.
here
It's
on
a
out, it's
deep
freedom
fried
salad.
bread ball.
That looks pretty good on the
I
left.
think Japan has food right. They're like, we'll just straight eat the seaweed from the water.
Japan's got awesome. The only thing I don't like about Japan is like they've got like octopus like
Live.
alive, but they have it at the airport like covered in
Yeah,
salt
they're
and stuff. Like
they're
I'm
eating
all
like
set
they're
with
still
that.
getting nuked.
Do you know what the
it's
worst
crazy.
food ever invented is? It's Scandinavian. It's the salt skulls. Have you ever seen these?
No, what is it?
Skulls?
Yeah. So, bro.
Okay, I want to
watch
say
this.
while you're pulling it up, the best seaweed in my opinion is dulse. It's super. It tastes like jerky, beef jerky. It's so good.
I'm not eating that.
Yeah, it's It's
Not
super
eating
salty
that.
seaweed. It's great and it's leathery.
Yeah, I'm not.
Wow,
I'm
there are
not
skulls
super-
carved from salt. That's certainly not what I was asking about.
Yeah, but I don't think men should be living off of fish diets that way. Like Japanese men are like so dainty, and also like I mean they were horrible in World War II.
heard
Like the
of
massacres
sumo?
in China were so aggressive, and we pretend that it doesn't. We forget that it happens because we see Asian men, I think, as like basically lesbians, you know.
Right.
But
never heard of
if I wanted men to fight for me, do I want them eating a bunch of sushi rolls or do I want them having
Look,
steak?
Yeah. So
Look at
true.
this. This is a cursed object, and I don't know how they sell it without and eat it without dying. When I was in Norway, it's a Swedish thing. It's Scandinavian. It's black licorice caked in salt, like literally salt.
A lot of like
I
all
hate
your
black
days.
licorice.
So much
and
salt.
I'm like, you eat two of them and you die.
Yeah, they're just. I can't.
I went to a candy store when I was in Norway, and I saw it all, and I thought it was like sugar sour. And then my friend was like, "You got to try it. It's called a salt skull." And I was like, "Shut up, that's salt." And I bought a bag, tried one, and said, "Absolutely not. You people are monsters."
Is it for like long journeys? They just
Apparently,
need a
what I
little...
was told is, when the men would go
hardtack.
whaling, they'd get salt all over their faces from the salt water, and they'd constantly taste salt, and so they kind of normalized the taste. So they put salt all over this, and it's kind of like they're used to it.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate black licorice, anyways.
Oh,
It's the
dude,
worst.
anise banned.
It's my least favorite licorice.
I went to
Oh, I
I went to
love black
Turkey.
Really?
licorice.
Is it because it's black?
Anise. It's called
He loves-
anise is the
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
is the herb.
No.
And the technical
I went
term.
to Turkey and they have a drink called a raki. It is an anise hard liquor drink, and I was with the vice guys, like the executives, and they were like, "Tim, you gotta have a raki." And I was like, "What is it?" And they're like, "It's licorice." I was like, "Whoa, no!" And they're like, "You have to." And I was like, "Dude, I hate licorice." And they're like, "You have to."
Well, every Middle
And I
Eastern
tasted it
country
and-
has like a licorice tasting
Oh.
alcohol, right? Like Greece has
Yeah.
what is it?
Wait, does Iran?
Isn't it like
Does
Well,
Iran?
it's not on the Mediterranean.
looking
Does
for
but-
Iran
Cassius
have licorice
belly. I don't
flavored
know.
drinks? Shut them down. We're going in, baby.
we're going
That's
in.
it.
Enough of them. I'm
Now
sick
you're
of it.
ready.
Licorice is
Yes.
disgusting.
If Trump was like, we're going to ban anise from all foods,
would definitely
cilantro,
hate
caraway, fennel, I'd be like, I'm in favor of invading whoever you want, Trump. You have my total allegiance.
If Trump just embargoes Mercedes and pantsuits or tracksuits, the Iranians would fold right away. And Bluetooth headsets, they'd be like, we're done.
So we found out yesterday coriander and cilantro are the same plant.
Yeah.
Coriander is the seeds.
That's what I've said. The
Cilantro's
cilantro is like the consequence of mass migration. I would say probably the worst consequence of mass migration is retconning.
So you're saying it was
leaves.
rebranding?
it was it was
like
forced
air
upon us.
fryers or just convection ovens,
Yeah,
and we're all like,
literally.
"Oh my
So
god, I have an air fryer! I'm
Yeah,
making
so
my sweet
true.
potato
Yeah.
fries in my air fryer."
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so healthy.
I'm so
all
glad we're
right,
talking about
guys.
food.
We're going to go to your Rumble rants and super chats. So smash the like button. Share the show with every person you've ever met. Do it now. And before we do, we got a great sponsor for you. It is Venice.ai. I asked it, what are you the best LLM? Because I apparently don't know how to type. And I responded, I'm a large language model designed to assist with a wide range of tasks, including natural language understanding, text generation, and providing information across various domains. My capabilities are built on extensive training data and advanced algorithms to deliver accurate and helpful responses. Whether you need answers to specific questions, creative content, or detailed explanations, I am here to help. Let me know how I can assist you today. More importantly, though, it doesn't track what you do. It stores your conversations in the browser, not server side, and it's uncensored. And when you unlock Pro, you can actually get access to a bunch of features like uncensored image generation. Stop. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about things, well, maybe that too, but also like political images. There are a lot of LLM and video and image generators that will tell you, I won't make a picture of that because like you wanted Donald Trump doing, a backflip or something, or like, I don't know, doing a DDT on Hillary Clinton for all our WWE fans. They won't do it. They'll say, we don't do violence. Well, Venice, they'll make what you want when you get the Pro plan. So make sure you go to venice.ai/Tim, use code Tim. The Pro plan unlocks the full platform, features including PDF uploads, summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. Super cool. Venice.ai/Tim, code Tim. You get 20% off the Pro plan. Thanks for sponsoring the show. Let's jump to your Rumble rants and super chats. Let's see what we got here. We got Not Robbie. He says, I'm going to be a prude. The F-bomb has been flying a lot lately, the last few episodes that my children do hear while I have you all on in the background. Indeed. We're going to have to tell people to chill it on the swears, and it's exactly for this reason. When we first launched the show, I wasn't really concerned about YouTube. I got an email, and they said, I love your show. I watch every day, but my kids are in the room when the TV's on, and I prefer if you didn't swear. Got an email from someone said, I'm listening to your show while driving the car. My kids are going to school, and the swearing, I don't want them to hear it. And I say, fair point. Fair point. So we usually tell people try not to swear for that reason. So
I've noticed it comes out
Ian?
emphatically once in a while, but
it's Ian.
No, it's my fault. No, I
Well,
would like
you
to.
did
I would like
too,
to
but Ian's
personally
been
apologize. I would like to apologize because I wasn't told that before
Right.
the show.
And if you follow
so
my
if I'd been
lead, I
told,
was-
I would
Exactly.
have been more careful.
Ian,
but I
right at the
apologize.
start of the show, dropped an F-bomb.
yeah. But sometimes I'm feeling it, but sometimes it's real annoying to listen to. I know what you mean. It's like so redundant.
look,
I
if you-
refuse to do it. I'm a good Southern Baptist boy. You're never gonna catch me.
I like to use better words.
I want people to be able to sit in their living room, turn their TV on,
Yeah.
watch live, and their kids are like finishing their homework and then going off to bed, and not have to be like, I have to pause this and wait till you're. We want you to be able to watch it, and when your kids are old enough, they can watch it with you.
That's why we talk about ovarian tumors instead. It's just
That's right. Bill
flies over
Clinton.
their heads. Yeah.
The dark stuff.
All right, Thinker for Life says, with all due respect, woke is a miscommunicated term. If you read Romans 1:28-32, it matches the woke mindset to a T. Jaw-dropping reveal. Who wants to pull that one up?
Romans what?
Romans 1:28-32. Shane H. Wilder says, I have Verizon. I was wondering why I didn't get any Indian scam calls today. I'm joking, but if you manage to hit the big three networks at once, the entire economy screeches to a halt.
Romans 1:28-32 describes the consequences of humanity's rejection of God. Because people refuse to acknowledge God, he gave them over to a debased mind to engage in actions that are contrary to his will.
Huh. Interesting. Spike says, speaking of which, Nick Shirley dropped another fraud video tonight about non-emergent medical transport fraud by guess who? Hint, hint. I hit up Seamus about making a cartoon called Somali Deal or No Deal. So the idea we had the other day was a story about Somalis smuggling wads of cash in suitcases through airports. And then I told Seamus, I was like, bro, it's deal or no deal, but instead of hot models, it's a bunch of Somalis and trying to figure out which one's smuggling $700 million. And I hope he does it.
But they all look exactly the same, and so you can't.
Well, it's deal or
tell.
no deal. There's numbered
Yeah.
cases. And then you
Yeah.
pick one, and then you got to, you're like, I want to eliminate these three. And then the banker calls you. But instead, it's Somalia calls you and, says,
It's a
we'll
great-
cut you a deal.
Sounds like a riveting game.
We'll give you a quarter of what we stole. No deal. Let's keep going. I want all
We'll
of
give
what
you the
stole.
autism money.
Yeah. Okay, what have we here? Spike says, our blue hair, white liberal woman could take Greenland and France in an hour. Oh, you mean one?
Which
Typo?
one?
I think they meant that just basically give them all to Greenland.
Oh,
Like all of them could take it. Probably true.
indeed.
I see.
Can we make an AI video of that? It's just
Yeah,
like
for
northern
sure.
Greenland, and it's occupied by a bunch of obese, blue-haired liberal women
Yeah, like setting up camp and
running
stuff.
free.
It could be like a leper's colony, you know,
I'm
when we
gonna
used to
make it right
send
now.
people to Hawaii and let them die off there.
I'm
We
gonna have
should do
Grok
that.
make this. Grok, imagine.
Great.
Okay.
That's what they did.
Imagine a herd of fat, blue-haired liberal women
Look up the leper colony.
stampeding in northern Greenland.
I like this.
Let's see if
See if Grok can handle the heat.
I don't need to type imagine. Why did I do that? A herd of fat, blue-haired liberal women stampeding in northern Greenland.
Is that what you call a group of them? A herd?
Picture this. Yes.
Like a school?
What do you call a group of cows? A herd, right?
Yeah.
This. I want
I don't see
video.
it.
I want video.
You have to press the play button.
No, I know, but it didn't come out the way I wanted it.
They're like charging. That's the invasion.
Helicopter view of herd of morbidly obese, blue-haired,
I wanna see it.
liberal women stampeding in northern Greenland. I spelled northern.
Can you footage from a Paul McCartney concert?
Can you put it on the screen even if it's bad?
I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to know.
Oh my god.
Let's animate this one.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Don't do the one with the boobs. We have enough boobs today.
Yeah, that would just cross some wires.
Oh,
right?
actually, yeah. Grok does make naughty things, so
Oh,
we
good
can't
idea
necessarily
with
just
that.
show it.
Little.
I have to let it render off. We'll grab some more Rumble rants and super chats. All right, Mythos says the Brits conquered 25% of the world for spices and refused to use a single one. British food is an embarrassment.
Thank you
No, British food's
for making my
whatever.
point.
They killed a
Whatever.
lot of people, man.
Can't educate. These goyim, they don't get it.
All right, let's see what we got in the old super chat machine here. Let's see what we got going on. We got Mike says, as an EMT, I responded to a call where a man was hit by a vehicle mirror at 5 miles an hour. He had a medium bruise on his back, and he said he was fine, so we let him go. He died that night from internal bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
Could be a fake story, but still, if it's real,
Kai says Gooncast IRL.
always.
The Hat and Beard Show says Tits Pool IRL. No, it's Titcast.
Titcast
Titcast.
firing up for the first.
What an amazing cross collab.
No Name Farmer says, Tim, the voters want to know, will your fennel ban include pepperoni, Italian sausage, and salami, all seasoned with fennel? Pepperoni's fine. Italian sausage and salami, gone.
Oh, fennel.
The reality is, Italian sausage is, and so we got a problem. But not all salami is. Fennel salami, gone. Fennel
just gotta-
pepperoni, gone.
you gotta
no
grind
fennel.
up-
I would rather have Italian sausage, no fennel. So I have Italian dry salami with garlic and peppercorn to die for.
Yeah.
But I buy these packs, these 3-packs, and there's like spicy chorizo, then there's like Italian dry salami, and then fennel. And I take all the fennel ones, I throw them on the ground, and I stomp on them.
Oh, no. You got to grind the fennel into powder and then put it in stuff.
It's disgusting.
You won't really taste it as much.
It's
But you
disgusting.
get all the health benefits.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's medicine.
Whoa.
Just take a Flintstone gummy. It knocks it all.
Did
You
it
don't
work?
Need these advanced tactics. You know?
I don't know, but
All
what
right,
are
I
the
think
other-
we're good. I think we're good.
Oh, nice. Oh, I want to see this.
Here you go.
Oh wow.
Not that one.
Oh, it's as I imagined.
Wires are
There you go.
getting conflicting.
And
That's
there's
it.
that annoying hum that comes along with it.
Yeah.
I think Greenland just sounds
Oh.
like that. Yeah. That's the Northern Lights. They
Well,
make that
one of them
noise.
turned them into White Walkers.
Really?
Yeah, you see.
Oh, one's crawling.
No, we lost it on.
It's like in Nazi zombies when you like they have a crawler. It's kind of like that. It's a COD.
Let's try
reference.
that.
Surge knows.
Morbidly obese, blue-haired, liberal women, zombies invading Greenland.
Do you think the morbidly obese zombie women is like an antidepressant phenomenon? Like SSRI, just people checked out, dyeing their hair. What is up with the blue hair? I don't
It's
understand.
definitely not safe
Oh
for work.
my
What?
It made them all
gosh.
naked and disgusting. I mean, they're zombies, so they're horrifyingly disgusting, but it made them naked too. And
do
I
that.
didn't ask it to do that.
Yeah.
The boys love
We're
Grok
gonna,
videos.
we're gonna show
I
you
don't know
all of these
girls
in the
who do AI
uncensored
videos.
portion of the show
Have
at
you been a victim of the
rumble.com/timcastirl.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
Grok is moving like crazy.
I heard,
Yeah,
but I honestly I don't check comments. I just read
Apparently,
comments.
they'll just respond to your profile and say, "Take her picture and make her
Yeah,
naked." And
I've
they'll
seen
be like,
that, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Don't get thanks for giving people ideas.
All right, what do we got? What do we got? Clint Torres says, "Howdy, people. Just got to say that I love the thumbnail tonight. I wonder why."
Good.
Thank you
Let's
so
see.
much.
We
Ryan
juggled that
says,
one.
love the Tim with the lady chest chosen for the episode photo. We recognize that completely. Everyone looked at it like, it looks like you have boobs, Tim. And I'm like, it's funnier that way.
It's very funny.
It's even funnier than the joke.
Biblically accurate Tim Pool.
I just want to say,
I like the first comment. It was like, Tim, why have you been hiding those from us?
that's very funny.
All right, let's see. Newbie Gamer says, phones have been down since 11 a.m. and still down now. Having to post it on PC. Is your phone still down?
Oh, it's back again, but it's been in and out.
My
Really?
internet was slow.
I
earlier,
had
too.
to just do my entire drive here with my own thoughts. Just kidding. No, I was like, I was able to tweet and listen to music. My poor Uber driver listening to the history of the Great Molasses Flood of 1919.
Awake Not
Across
Woke.
Alligator Alley.
Yeah.
Awake Not Woke says, Tim, we love Tate in the morning, but got to ask, are there any plans to return to the 10 a.m. morning show? Keep up the great work, y'all. I do a 10 a.m. morning show every single day, and I've never stopped. And that's at Timcast News and Timcast on Rumble. However, there's an interesting thing going on. We don't exactly know what's going to happen, but the press release for Dan Bongino, I believe they're having someone take the noon slot on Rumble.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what that's going to mean
I'll be in the Rumble cuck chair. I think that's the plan.
the cuck chair.
Yeah, I'm getting bumped. I'm getting mogged actually. Fair
Mogged.
enough. Welcome back, Bongino. I think this is a great thing.
Mog today, there tomorrow.
You know, it's a minor mog back for a major comeback. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Do you guys know what he's saying when he says these words?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tate's
I'm
in
the
on
only
the pulse.
one who's like,
You know,
It's called being tapped in.
I don't know. Okay.
you're not familiar with what Gooncast IRL means?
No.
How old are you?
Oh,
A lady doesn't reveal her age, but I'm obviously
That means you're old.
22.
The joke is if a woman gets offended, you asked her age, she's old.
she's
No,
ol-
I'm-
she's older than me.
No, it's actually just more for like data, like just like trying to keep that information private. for,
No,
like,
I was
security
kidding.
reasons.
But like young women are proud to say they're young
I know, I
you
say
know.
my age. I'm 32, but people often think I'm in my late 20s.
because you don't know the Gen Z slang.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't want to either.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
Really?
understand.
I kind of like it. I just like knowing. It's like I gotta know.
Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says tonight's thumbnail will bring in new viewers. Indeed, it already has.
Welcome, welcome. By the
Finally
way,
tuned
welcome
in.
to
I've
Boobs.
been wondering what the show is
branching.
all about. Finally had an impetus.
It
to
started
join.
because
Tim take the hat
you
off?
made a comment about our So here's what happened. She was like, your thumbnails, the timestamp covers the guests and you can't see them. And then I looked and I was like, she's right. We have
You're
the
all
image of our
welcome.
guest in the
How many
thumbnail.
years have you guys had the thumbnail like
Like
this?
2 years now. And then I said to Jessica, I was like, can we flip it so that the guest is plainly visible? Because I don't care if the timestamp blocks a portion of the title.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, we're going to make the thumbnail. You mentioned trying to look good for the thumbnail, but it's being blocked. And so then I took a picture for the thumbnail and I was like, I guess, do you want the boobs in it? And you were like, yes. And I said, screw it, just do all boobs. And everybody laughed. And then I was like, should I actually do that? And then everyone agreed.
I was like, maybe not. And then I was like, everyone says yes, Ian, just let go. And
You
then
know
I was
what we
like,
can
maybe
do?
after the show.
We can take. You ever see the thing where it's the guy's butt cheeks, but they put a bra on it, and then like slowly it looks like boobs.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
slowly
yeah.
zoom out, and then you're looking at a dude's ass.
No, I've gotten done in with that a few times. Hashtag Miami Nights. Aaron, I have an update from Sean. He says I checked. Eating dog is not kosher. I guess that was a debate
Yeah,
on
I
the
said
morning.
that before. There's no way eating dog is kosher.
Yeah.
He was trying to claim that, trying to sabotage us because I don't know if you guys know, but people love us right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like Qatar weighed in with Sean. He is for sale apparently.
All right, let's see. Matt says no one has been able to answer to me why AI is the future. What's the end game for AI? What's the finish line? Okay. What'll happen is we are already at the point where. Let me start here. Remember when I said in the future you're going to have Disney Creative Plus, and you're going to say, Disney, you're going to open the app on your TV, press a button, and say, I want to watch Spider-Man fight the Incredible Hulk. And it'll go rendering, boom, the Amazing Spider-Man fighting Hulk. I was like, that's coming soon. You know what I didn't even think about? This is how crazy it is. AI is already so advanced. You can go on a chat GPT and say, write me a new Harry Potter novel. And it'll go, okay. And then when you want a new page, you just say next page. And it will literally just write out a new Harry Potter novel cloning J.K. Rowling's style. So you already have infinite books now. Infinite books utilizing everything everyone's written through these training models. So we don't know if it's actually going to improve upon or create new things, but it will write you a book. We're already at the point where you can read any story you want. We are a couple of years away from making any movie you want. The new video models they just dropped.
crazy.
It's
Sora?
No.
No, it's bro. When Sora 2 comes out and we're like, wow, look at this. The behind the scenes private video models are already 10 times more advanced that have not been released yet.
Okay.
So actually, let me pull this up because Phil sent me this. And it's way beyond your worst nightmares or greatest dreams, I guess. Let me see if I can.
Future is yours.
Here you go. Check this out. Look at this. Let me. Now you're gonna get scammed by some Indian dude pretending to be Millie Bobby Brown.
That's already happening. Like all these guys that message women on OF, they're just talking to some dude in the Philippines.
If you can impersonate Millie Bobby Brown,
Look at this.
Drake is in
Look
trouble.
at this.
Good?
Drake is in trouble.
Watch.
Am I still your only one?
Yeah, sure.
Some of you are probably thinking, yeah, close-up shots are fine. We've seen that before. But what about the wide ones?
Well, it may have some limits.
This is nuts.
Incredibly good.
Hollywood's over. Completely over.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, just like the
It's honestly
first one
kind of
showed.
crazy that with just 16 gigs of VRAM, you can already generate like a 15-second HD video.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but look at the motion and the lip sync. It's actually really well done.
I love that they just do that to each other. It's so
By
weird.
the way, I love you.
So, is it any good?
I like.
OnlyFans is over, dude.
Oh my gosh. AI porn's so messed up, dude.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's like Persona, dude. Speaking of games.
Dude, it's over.
And you know what you need to power all that AI?
Water.
They figured
Silver.
out. I'm doing a nanotech
Energy.
documentary. But Arynne, I'm doing this nanotech documentary.
Look at
I
this
went
from
down
a single
to
frame.
Florida,
Look what they did.
It's
Texas. I want
crazy.
to tell you about this power generation. So this company, Iron Lattice, is working on putting the memory in the processor. So it's one unit. You don't have a bus anymore. So it's 10,000 times. I'm sorry. Let me get this right. It's projected to be 10 million times faster than regular competition. It requires 1 million times less electricity.
You know what? All these places need cooling. You know, a very cool place where we could have the servers.
not.
Greenland.
But with
Look at
this
this, look at
technology,
this.
you don't need the
They
cooling
took-
devices.
check
to
this
the
out.
energy
Watch.
portfolio.
They took establishing shots. So they do this in filmmaking where they'll take pictures of what they want a scene to look like. You load it up and said, make the movie.
Apologize.
Yeah, this tech I brought up is no
Absolutely
joke.
not.
It's
honestly don't
almost
know what's
upending the
funny.
graphics card industry.
I shouldn't even ask for it. You owe me.
No, I just think you're a little bit overreacting.
Am I?
Babe, come on, stop. Look at the road, please.
You can still see this weirdness with the
Watch
mouth.
the road.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously AI. It's an Asian woman driving, and there's no carnage.
There hasn't been an accident yet.
Please watch the road. Look,
I think
Well, she is driving on the line, so it is
Okay,
realistic,
all right.
actually.
society kind of
Apologize.
starts to act like the famous actors of the day. And if we just let AI make shitty acting, pardon my language, it's getting late at night. That means I'm going to say shitty more often.
Jeez, dude.
Why
Look
would
at
you
this.
assume that it would be bad acting?
Dude, video
That was
games are
terrible
over,
acting.
man.
That scene was crap.
This
But
is-
how do you explain that to someone if you're not an actor? Like, you got to show them what's good.
Well,
This is the end game. The end game is you saying, generate me a video game where you play a female spy sci-fi with a laser gun, and it's gonna render GTA 7 in 20 minutes. That's the end game.
the reason
less.
the reason I mentioned that, Ian, is because right now music is like the singers in all the AI videos and stuff. Like it's instinctive from the
music's
best
pretty
singers.
good.
And so like that's coming to visual as well.
I've just worked on doing like a 5-minute movie with Sora. I spent, 20 hours editing and creating, and it's just a lot of the acting's garbage relative to what we can do as humans. But
Sora is behind this. That's the point. You're using a publicly released cheap tool you can spend. Or what is it, like a couple bucks a month or some cheap amount? We're looking at previews of private, behind-the-scene, unreleased stuff. What ChatGPT's video capabilities are already has dramatically surpassed what you have access to. Hollywood studios already have access to like 10 times the power that you do.
if you can, like, you're like this, if I could do that, like, and you can
You can.
record my
literally can.
fervor and then
You
input
can.
that into the AI guy it's
Yeah.
making.
The recording you made of yourself for Sora 2, anyone can now use their own video reference to be you.
But just for the acting, you got to.
No,
if you want to put your personality on the AI guy that it's making of you.
No, someone will act.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
And in a year, it won't matter. The crazy thing is right now, you put yourself in, someone can make a video of you doing something bad.
I mean, you look at like they do motion capture and stuff like that for animation and stuff. This is the same principle. And so it doesn't matter if the person's a great actor or not. They'll just have to go ahead and do the motion capture, and then the AI will fill in the blank.
I'm just talking about digitally creating
Let's grab
it.
some more super chats while we still have a couple minutes
yeah.
left. Chief Corey Anderson says, I do whatever the woman with the nice pillows says.
Support Israel.
Benjan
so
says,
easy.
damn, she got them heavies. Chief Corey says, anytime, Arynne, do you work with Mike Lindell? Because those pillows are fantastic.
That would have been such a good My Pillow ad. Use discount code POSO.
No, it's code Tim.
Do you have code Tim?
Absolutely,
Yes.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Code Tim then.
But you can see how Jack is so ubiquitous with that promo code everybody
That's so
knows.
smart. Yeah.
Code POSO.
Yeah.
He's probably like swimming in money just from code POSO.
Yeah.
He like goes home, he has a vault like Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, this is an ad I should suggest to Mike Lindell.
You should definitely.
Yeah.
It's just your boobs.
There are some
All
people
right,
who are
let's see.
angry on Twitter about the cover, and I just want to say humor is not for everyone.
Well, we have a
You know?
serious post right
Humor's
now.
not for, and
We have
I'm more than just a brain.
We have a
okay?
serious post here. Dylan Brown says, longtime fan. My father took his last breath tonight. I am working in Berlin, but was lucky enough to be on the phone when he took his last breath. A shout out to Stephen Brown would mean a lot. He was a light in a dark world. Shout out, Stephen Brown. You have a good son. And sorry for your loss, brother.
Thank you, Stephen. Be at peace on the way over.
Let's see. Scribbly Bear says, it seems as though Verizon's service has gone down multiple times in the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe they're just too cheap to update their towers and everyone is blaming it on terrorism.
I don't think it's towers, but
Maybe.
Really
What
lucky
what
timing
what
for
did someone say?
them.
Titcast IRL? Titscast IRL. Indeed, indeed. All right, my friends, we're going to go to the uncensored portion of the show so we can show you zombie, morbidly obese liberal women invading Greenland. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. The show will be live at rumble.com/TimcastIRL. Head over there and subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Join Rumble Premium. Arynne, do you want to shout anything out?
Yes, you could follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Arynne Wexler. So that's it.
Follow me at Ian Crossland, and the technology I was talking about earlier with Arynne with this Iron Lattice company. You can find it at graphene.movie. Go there. The trailer's up now. Sign up for the email list and graphene.movie. Check it out. You can follow me, Ian Crossland. Great to be here. Thank you guys so much. Much love, much prayers. Be good.
That's right. X and Instagram at Real Tate Brown. Come hang out for the noon live. Timcast Noon Live only on Rumble. And we'll be back this weekend with Connor Tomlinson for Across the Pond. So be on the lookout for that.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. The band is All That Remains. We're going on tour this spring. We're going to be out with Born of Osiris and Dead Eyes. It starts April 29th in Albany and goes until just about the end of May. You can check out All That Remains on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and Deezer. Don't forget the left lane is for crime.
We will see you all over at rumble.com/TimcastIRL in about 30 seconds. Thanks for hanging out.